All right. Well, yeah, that wasn't what we wanted. That was not what we wanted. G'day, everyone. Welcome to Postgame Live. Welcome to Postgame Live after the Cats, unfortunately, went down by 18 points to the Carlton Football Club. What is it? 14 goals, 10, 94 to Carlton, and 12 goals for 76 to the Cats. One word. Frustrating. A few syllables there, but one word. Frustrating. And if you've just watched the Chris Scott presser, he basically said the same thing. He basically said the same thing as well. So I'm pretty disappointed. I have had an hour and a half to calm down a little bit. Oh, should have seen me in that fourth quarter. I was not in a good mood. I was not in a good mood. Not at all. Definitely not. But we're here. We front up as always. We're here. Thank you to Shannon Pizza. Don't forget, we're always giving away a free large pizza on Postgame Live. So if you want to drop a comment, if you want to join the conversation, I have pinned the guest link in the chat as well. So you're more than welcome to come and have a chat with me about your thoughts. Talk about the umpires, possibly. You might want to talk about the umpires and some players at the Catters. Try and keep it a little bit positive, but you got to call it as you see it too, don't you? A little bit. Thank you, Shannon Pizza. Sponsor of the Hoops Crew Media Network is Cyril Cook Florists. If you need to get some flowers, because Mother's Day is not too far away, don't forget to use the promo code GoCats online when you give them a buzz. Just having a look at who's in the chat tonight. Who we got in the chat? Ruski, g'day. How you going, Ruski? I agree. Umpiring, pretty rubbish. Magnus Sherlock, how are you doing? Shadu, as always, in the chat. Love you, Shadu. Frank Gardiner. Welcome, Frank. Yeah, Blitz and Atkins. I'm sorry I couldn't get everyone on the poll. Don't forget, everyone, there's a poll there. Make sure you vote. I try to pick 4 players that stand out to me. Drop the names in the chat if you think I've missed them, and I guarantee there'll be a few. Maybe do a poll later on to see who you pulled your hair out the most as well. I might do a poll of the 4 worst players on the ground. Who did you pull your hair out the most for them? Mighty Sparlock, as always, I hope you've cashed in your pizzas. Winner of, I think it was a couple of weeks ago now. I think it might have been Ethan last week, and I wasn't here. Thank you to Paul James for hosting in my absence last weekend. I can see Paul in the chat too. He's on nice and early. Paul, I might get you. Can I get you on now, Paul? Is that all right? All right. Bringing in the man, the myth, the legend himself. You're looking a bit pixelated there, Paul, but how you doing? Welcome on board.
What's going on with my video then?
That's all right. You're here.
That's all right. Better to get it out of the system now. I've got a million pieces of content I'm doing tonight, so we'll kick it off with Postgame Live.
And you do love your Ninja Turtle.
Get fucked. Oh, sorry. I can still.
Early with the F-bomb.
We're 3 minutes in. YouTube's already stopped caring.
We still got you, Paul.
I just thought I'd embrace the pixelator thing and go with like old school Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
Is this why you asked to see beforehand whether I was coming on tonight so you could prepare shit like this?
Yeah, sort of. How'd you find that game, mate?
Look, I've already seen plenty of commentary online about umpiring and those sorts of things, and look, all of that is 100% fair enough. Like it was pretty rubbish for the most part. In fact, I think I saw and I can see him in the background. I saw a tweet from Ethan that I think really hit the nail on the head when it came to the sentiment towards the umpires. That said, our performance was pretty insipid. Would be the word that kind of springs to mind. There's a few players, and I did, I guess before you jumped into me, I did hear you kind of chatting about, a poll for the worst players. And I think it'd be easy to focus on the negatives because I think there was plenty of them tonight or this afternoon, I should say. Yeah, I'm pretty disappointed. I'm not going to go and throw the baby out with the bathwater. I don't think, and I think I can't remember one of the chaps posted in our little group chat after the game that I think the list is in a different place, but in 2022 we were 4-3 at the same point as well. So let's not get too carried away. But developmentally, we are at a different point to what we were as a list in 2022. We had this bloke called Tom Hawkins that was pretty handy as a full forward. Jeremy Cameron was at the peak of his powers and in flying form as well. He, as much as he kicked 4 today, I feel like he made as many big mistakes as he kicked sensational goals. I think for me, the big concern, I kind of spoke about this a little bit when I guess I had the wheel last week, and then even in my reactions and those sort of things, my big concern is actually the forward line at the moment. As a unit, we're not clicking. And I did kind of speak about it in part in defense of Ollie Henry last week, but I think also a bit more holistic as well, that the spanner in the works has been danger to a degree. But I don't think I can keep using that as an excuse for the likes of, in particular, and I just saw Renee drop the comment in the chat there about Shannon Neal. He's really struggling. Really struggling. And I mean, the sentiment's been there from pretty much the start of the season with some of the really basic, easy marks that I could excuse the big contested marks that he doesn't land from time to time, because there's also some, like in the game against Hawthorn last week, late in the piece, where he clunked it when it really mattered. You can deal with those. But it's the really simple ones that either go flying off his chest or just break straight through his hands. Like, as a key forward, you mark the ball or you bring it down in front of you. As simple as that. Don't let it get out the back. Unless, of course, you're kind of paddling it on behind you. That's a very deliberate play at that point. But he's really struggling in that respect. I'd mentioned 3 players last week that I felt like were really struggling when it came to the presence of danger, and that was Tyson Stengel, Ollie Henry, and Shannon Neal. Shannon Neal, I'm kind of really struggling to defend a little bit here. Ollie, I'll give him a pass, because how much game time did he play in the end? Was it a quarter? Less than a quarter?
Yeah, I would have said less than a quarter in the end, I think.
And look, in that time, he competed. He did bring the ball down. He kind of crashed a few bodies and utilized some of his athleticism. I don't think he did anything extraordinary. But I would just say it's kind of a nothing game, especially considering he played the sub role. So I'll give him a little pass in that respect. Tyson Stengel started to look like he was finding, like, there was a few statless moments that he had that were important, but just as a forward line unit, we're not firing. And with Jezza, just as much as he kicked 4 today, he was still a little bit out of form. He still is showing signs of being a little bit out of form. That really doesn't help.
No.
Brad Close didn't offer much today, and we love Brad Close here, but I don't think he offered overly much today. There was a few times where he tapped on, and he's usually very creative in that space, but he kind of sold us up shit creek on a couple of occasions with some of those taps that ultimately just kind of landed in the laps of Carlton players. I mean, when one thing goes wrong, it becomes a bit like an avalanche, and so that probably didn't help either. But
it's a ball of shit rolling down a hill is what it was.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, not great. Sorry, kids. Sorry. I can see Bianca in the chat there. Hello to all the Vallas. Yeah. No, it wasn't great. What did you think about Chris Scott's comments through the week? Criticisms of the AFL head office. Do you think last time he did that was just before we played Gold Coast?
I mean, to be fair, we had no chance that night against the Gold Coast either. We shot ourselves in the foot with the way we played, let alone the umpiring that night. But no, look, I'm not gonna create any connection there. I know, again, I've seen that by some. He wasn't having a crack at the umpires. He was having a crack at, well, unless there's part of it that I missed, because I've only seen extracts from the.
No, it was just the AFL head office.
It was the AFL and where the fines go and those sorts of things.
But you know that meme of Dan Andrews on the phone?
Oh yeah, you've used it plenty over the years.
Andrew Dillon on the phone to the umpire's boss, make it happen, sort of thing. We don't get political on this show. If you want to start that, go to a different channel. But anyway, I'm just joking. I'm joking.
No, look, I don't think there's any link there. That said, Carlton absolutely got the rub of the green consistently through the second half. in particular. What was it, 12-2, I think, free kick wise?
Yeah, that's what I heard. 9-1.
I think that was the number I saw floating around. I don't know if it's accurate or if it's close, but it's certainly the eye test wasn't great. But I think for the most part, I just want to focus on Geelong structures. The umpiring, you'll get the good, you'll get the bad. You get the rub of the green. Sometimes you won't. Like that's all part of the course, par for the course. But just as the inability to win the ball at the coalface, and we were going against when they're at full flight, as they pretty much were today. I'd say the best midfield in the comp. When you've got Cripps, Walsh back in form, and then you can roll Hewitt, who's been playing like an All-Australian. Chera, Tom de Koning, obviously is a ruck, like who's in, he's probably the informed ruckman of the competition as well. Like they're probably the best midfield unit in the comp right now, and they've just needed to click. So when you're not winning the ball at the coalface, and when you do, your forwards are not doing a hell of a lot with it, or when you get your hands on the ball, you're butchering it. Disposal efficiency was the killer for us tonight as well. You don't give yourself much of a chance, right? It's like we got a run on in the last quarter. We got ourselves within a goal, 2 goals,
10 points,
10 points. And then it was just the ineffective disposal that, kind of halted that. We put it back down the throats of some Carlton defenders at different stages, Nick Haynes in particular, and we nipped that momentum in the bud. And the old phrase is, bad kicking is bad football. And of course, we kicked 12 goals for it. It wasn't the kicking for goal that was the problem. It was the way we were hacking it around the ground. Just in a very similar way to actually the way Hawthorn kind of hacked it against us at critical moments last week. We did that today. Yeah,
you can't be missing targets with no pressure. Yes, there's always, when you say there's no pressure, there's always pressure in an AFL game in front of 70,000, whatever they had tonight. But goodness me, it wasn't like you were just rushing a kick out of a pack or anything like that. The amount of times tonight that we butchered a handball or butchered a kick, and I'm not going to shy away from saying it tonight, because Chris Scott, for once, actually called it. He didn't name names or anything like that, but he said it in the press tonight. He's like, it just wasn't good enough, and it wasn't your Connor O'Sullivans or your Lawson Humphreys and any of these young guys. It was the blokes you expect to do the bloody job, and they just couldn't. Saying that, it was an all. When we have a win, it's often an all team effort. Everyone's a hero. Well, probably for the most part, 75% of the team really were down tonight. And not just 5% off. They weren't 5% off. I reckon they were about 20 to 25% off tonight. It was horrible. It was real horrible.
I mean, is that, I know you made a reference to the Gold Coast game before from last year. Is that our Gold Coast game from last year? Which is the shit that we need to get out of the system.
I don't want to say that, because I don't know if I rated Gold Coast.
No, because there's a lot of season still ahead. There could be more of them.
And there might be some Carlton
we do play the Pies next week.
Yeah, true. No, I think Carlton are a lot better side than Gold Coast were last year. So I still have a lot of respect for the Blues, and I think they started to turn the season around. It's their third win on the row after starting 0-4. So they're starting to turn it around, and I think you and I had the Blues top 2 at the end of the year when we did our top 8s, and so I think, I don't know if they'll make top 4, but they're starting to turn things around. So I rate them much, much higher than I do Gold Coast. That's probably not, I don't think it's the worst loss of the year, but it wasn't great. And he's turned it off. Look at that. Look at that. It has a funny way
I
of
forgot
coming
that
back,
I have some admin privileges that can kill off the Ninja Turtle.
Do. For now. For now. Now people don't know who you are. Yes, they do, because you're.
They'll deal. I'm in every other video on the channel, so let's not worry about it.
If you're not familiar with Paul James, you probably haven't watched the show before. He's everywhere.
What was I going to say?
Who do you like tonight?
I saw a comment before I realised I could quickly turn that off. The stability in the back line's coming. Obviously, Henry and Collar Jasny pretty close. Collar made his return to the VFL today. There we go. Renee said it.
Yep.
And Henry, though, obviously that's going to be really important. That allows us to flip the magnets around. Obviously, that addresses, I think, the thing that I've seen screamed out a lot throughout the entirety of the game. And then since is the O'Sheen Mullen situation.
Yep.
Which again came back to bite us today. Our old mate Lockie Fogarty got a hold of him early on, and then at kind of critical stages later on in the piece as well. So Yeah, he was pretty rough.
Can I read out some stats from Mullen, if you'll indulge me? All right. So, yeah, eight disposals. That's okay. 8 disposals, 7 clangers, 5 frees against, and 133 metres gained. Not good reading.
There may not be a player all season that plays a worse game than that.
So let's give him another 150 games, Paul.
Yeah, okay. Hey, I saw that one. Let's not be a snarky. Let's not be a little bitchy here.
Shadoo says the Mullen experiment is OVA over.
I mean, over obviously that's a definitive thing. I'm sure you're not really meaning it in that sense, but
no.
It needs to be put on ice. It definitely needs to be put on ice for a while.
Give him.
Now, Bianca, I can see you in the background. We probably need to add them to the stage for just a moment to indulge this. Get it out of the system. All right, get him out of here.
Bianca's next. That's great.
You're all awful individuals. I hate you all. But if we hit 50 patrons, I'll lean right into it. Yeah, I think we just need to put that one on ice. And honestly, I mean, with the troops coming back in that part of the ground, I can deal with it. Certainly, if we don't have Collar and Henry back, well, I suppose Collar potentially come back next week. Henry maybe another week or two after that. But if neither of those two return in the short term, I would. Can we get Mitch Duncan in to replace him? I know people have got their concerns, of course, around Mitch Duncan. I don't buy into some of the negativity. He's obviously got moments. His age is starting to show a little bit, but his game sense is better, and he's certainly not going to struggle in the same ways that O'Sheen is struggling. No,
he's definitely about half the speed of O'Sheen, and definitely knows how to find the football.
His delivery is so good. I think that's important when it comes to a Mitch Duncan conversation at the moment. I've already got a video prepared, people, that's going to go out sometime this week about Mitch Duncan and just will he or won't he get to 300. But the thing that we've spoken about a bit over the journey is that his greatest weapon is his foot and the way he can lace out a target. And the times he's always struggled has been when he's coming back from an injury or some sort of extended absence. And he doesn't have that now. Right now he is just playing consistently in the VFL, but he'll be hitting targets left, right. I haven't really watched much of the VFL, but he'll be hitting targets left, right, and center because he's got that momentum going. You bring him into the team, and some of the things that kind of served as weaknesses at different points last year, because he still played a lot of football for the Cats at the AFL level last year, but he was kind of getting parts of games, and he'd play a few weeks and then he'd have a week off, that sort of stuff. Right now, he'll come back at kind of his best, without the speed, but at his best. So I'm all right with it.
Yeah, Jackie's just said, based on his VFL games, probably wouldn't have kept up. I mean, I've watched a bit of the VFL this year, and Jake from the Chaps is probably the most knowledgeable out of all of us at the Hoops on how the VFL team's going, and I don't think he's completely sold on Duncan. But look, I think he'll get games. Whether he gets 4, who knows?
I mean, so sorry, I'm not talking about it through the lens of getting to 300. I'm thinking more just in terms of, okay, if Mullen's out, Duncan for me is the one, at least in the short term. But I mean, Jackie obviously flags the keeping up with the game. I don't think the keeping up with it is necessarily the concern. There's been plenty of players over the years who've not had speed. They've not had run through the legs or anything like that. It's been their intelligence and their game sense that's carried them. Pendle's for the entire time has not been the fastest player in the competition, not even close. But it's his smarts that has gotten him to nearly 400 games now. Now, I'm not going to say that Mitch Duncan is Scott Pendlebury, but it's that same intellect and it's the skills that he's got that I think raise him above right now, Mullen, without any doubt in my mind.
I agree.
Yeah. But honestly, I mean, our problem isn't the defensive unit. Yes, they had some moments today, but not for a lack of effort. And honestly, it was because the supply was so great going into the forward line. Really, midfield is the problem. Winning the ball at the coalface. if they can do that, the forwards will probably click a little bit better. But then the secondary issue is the forward line is just a little bit toothless at the moment.
No, it's not clicking at all. And yeah, you made some points in one of the recent videos, which I encourage everyone to check out about. I can't remember which one it was, but just how Dangerfield being down. Yeah, it's one of them. Dangerfield being up forward has kind of thrown a few players around a little bit, and
what I was saying earlier, yeah,
mixed up the magic sauce a little bit.
And he's been a huge asset. Like, I do not want anyone to, I'm not trying to say that Paddy Dangerfield in the forward line is a bad idea.
No,
but everyone's learning their place within this forward line where he can kind of play the very traditional get them all out, get everyone out of the 50 and just leave it to me sort of role. And I mean, if he wasn't tucked up, close to the boundary in the matchup against Wiedering late in the piece there, then he would have won that one as well. He just kind of ran out of space to work with. He wasn't able to burn him before he got to the ball. Obviously, I've seen. I've already seen some commentary suggesting that he flopped and dived and those sort of things when he got tackled in that process, and he put a bit of mayo on it. But I think they're just learning their place. Shannon Neal is the concern for me in the sense that he is his role is still quite defined, but he's not necessarily expected to get a million opportunities, but he's squandering the ones that he gets at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. Oh, well, mate. We go again next week.
We'll just keep fighting over that button.
It's Collingwood. It's Collingwood. Yeah. We'll be fine. Don't worry about it.
Okay. Might be the first time I have to seriously give a bit of thought to the do I dare tip against us. Not that I think they're going as well. There's a bit of glazing going on with Collingwood at the moment. But
I don't know.
But that said, a loss like that, puts a seed in your mind. Has anyone been able to clarify? It's been a week since we've kind of had almost a week since we had this conversation. Is Grine, assuming he passed the medical test, is he actually allowed to play 12 days? If it begins from the moment he was seeing stars, then he is eligible to play on Saturday. If it's from the Monday, then I believe the 12th day is game day. Do you get out on the 12th day? Or do you have to complete 12 days and then you're out? I've got no clarity around this.
There are checkpoints along that sort of journey to 12 days. So he has to sort of meet certain conditions.
Yeah, sorry, and that is working on the assumption that he is ticking the right boxes.
Yeah. So if he's ticking the boxes, I don't know what it is. If it's 7-day mark or the 10-day mark, or whatever that may be. I think Chris Scott says they get told that he's progressing. They get told if he misses one of those markers or whatever the language they use. But so far he's hitting them all. So he expects him to play at this point in time, unless something happens with the next little check that he has, and that sort of sets him back. So yeah, it's all looking like it's a green light, good to go. Bring Grine back. Smash Collingwood by 50 odd next week.
Not that he's going to be the difference, but he's going to be important for sure.
Yeah. Anyway, we all missed
the other thing I'll just rant about quickly before we go. Or before I disappear, because I'm actually about 10 minutes late for another show that I've got to do. The fixture at the moment, and today we're on the receiving end of it. I'm mindful that it's kind of worked both ways to this point. I think about Geelong and Adelaide and the massive gulf in time that Geelong had against Adelaide there in terms of preparation time, and now the reverse has kind of occurred this time. How is it that we are not constructing a fixture where teams get, when they go head to head, they are getting a relatively equal amount of time between matches? Because this one's out of whack. Going into next week with the Pies, we're playing Sunday. The Pies have played on Friday. They're getting several extra days. I know we're not talking about a snaking fixture and those or snaking times and that sort of thing. There's more nuance to it than a local league thing. I get that. Or what I might have with a basketball competition where it does. I literally have a 7 o'clock game, 7:50, 8:40, 9:30, and then it snakes back to. I know it's not as simple as that. There are layers to it. Especially given the fact that it's days as opposed to hours. But there's just been some wild inequities at the moment. It's gone both ways, so I'm not oblivious to that. But you've seen it with so many teams this season where one team has had 7 or 8, maybe an extended break for whatever reason. the others come in off the back of 5 or 6, and it's been immediately apparent. Again, going back to say Geelong and Adelaide, where Adelaide, you could see they were. I mean, the Cats players themselves have all said, they ran out of legs.
Yeah, I'm just thinking back to last week when we played the Hawks. We played on the Thursday of Gather Round, and they played on the Sunday. So we had, I don't know, do the maths, an extra 3-4 days on them. But yeah, over a longer period, I'll concede that. So it probably didn't really matter in the end. As long as you get your 7 days, you should be fine regardless. But it's that sort of less than 7 day thing that does make it a little bit harder. But, as Chris Scott said, it shouldn't really matter. I mean, Cats are pretty good.
It shouldn't.
Cats are good over 6 days, but maybe Carlton's pretty good over 9 days with a 9-day break. So, and they were good.
And like if I look at the Geelong one, and now I'm kind of I'm probably half making excuses here, but you've got this Carlton one, they've got a big advantage, and now the Pies are going to get a big advantage as well against this. Like, I don't know, it's just, and it's not just been Geelong. We've been the beneficiary once. We're going to be the loser twice here. There might have even been other scenarios we actually benefited earlier on the piece, and I just didn't realize it because maybe we're playing a shitty team and it didn't matter, or it was less apparent. I know there's been plenty of other teams where this same thing, like completely other matchups, where this has been a factor as well. I don't recall it being this poor in the past, or at least obvious.
Yeah, I don't know.
And that could be a conditioning thing more than anything else. I don't know.
I think,
but it's happening to lots of teams. So every team in the competition suddenly has lost the ability to manage their players' health. I don't get it.
Well, we're playing a lot more Thursday night footy than we ever have. So that is the obvious.
Thursday's probably a wrinkle in the mix, to be honest.
Right off the top, it's just you're spreading out games over 4 days instead of 3. It's a 4-day week, footy week, then a 3-day footy week. It used to be. Remember, we started with 1, and then we added games on Sunday, and then we added the Friday night game, and then now we've got like the Thursday all the way through to Monday. I love it. Like COVID days were awesome, but Shannon Neely,
needs a Travis Cloak glove.
He just needs thumbs. That's what he needs. But no, he'll be fine. He'll come good, people. I've got a lot of faith on Shannon Neal.
Well, so do I, but also we don't have many other key forward options coming through, do we?
Well, we did have, but
Jay Polkinghorn.
The Polk.
I don't think we're there in terms of banking on the guy. That would be a bit ridiculous straight out the gate. But we shouldn't also be banking on Shannon Neal either. He developmentally is still quite early on as well. Like, he is still at an earlier stage of his career than what Tom Hawkins was in 2011 when he had his moment, when he had his big breakout.
Yeah, and we didn't take Shannon Neal didn't come out of the box with promises that he'll be a generational AFL footballer like Tommy Hawkins was promised to be. Tommy Hawkins was the next Tony Lockett, even before he played a game. No one had those expectations on Shannon Neal. Yeah. Just that, like Gary Ablett Senior retires and Brett Spinks is supposed to be the saviour. No,
that's a discount.
We're just going to have to find a way. We're just going to have to give Shannon time. If it doesn't work, we give someone else an opportunity.
He just needs time. No, I've got no doubt about it. He just needs time. It's just
doesn't mean he's going to win a Coleman, but but he needs more time than 3 or 4 years in the system. I think he probably needs 5 years. Like we gave Tom Hawkins 5 years, and then he ended up playing more games than anyone at the Geelong Footy Club. So leading goal kicker 10 or 11 times for the club. So we'll see. We'll see with him. Yeah.
I'll stop ranting.
I'll let you go.
Come back in a little while anyway. To those who were asking, I'm off to go do some of my video games work now. I scheduled it when we've kind of had to shuffle the Paul James show around for the game. I've then gone and patched my games podcast in, knowing that it would overlap with this. I can kind of come in before and after. So I will be back. I also want to do the reaction video somewhere along the way as well to have that ready for tomorrow morning. So if I don't return, please, everyone, make sure to check out the reaction video where I will have taken a bit more time to think on it. Bring some stats to the table as well to kind of hopefully underpin some of my thoughts. To everyone else, enjoy the show, and hopefully I'll see you all within the hour or so. I don't know. I don't know. It depends on how people are feeling. I could be. When I get back, maybe Lucas will be there and he'll be shirtless and it'll be just a wild time at that point.
Yeah, maybe.
seems to only be happening with my versions of Postgame Live these days. So anyway, we'll see what happens. Enjoy, folks. See you in a while.
Paul Power. There you go.
I'll go play full forward.
Yeah. Beautiful.
All right, kick me out of here. I'll see you soon.
All right. See ya. Paul Power. Oh, we love picking on him, don't we? It's good fun. Just having a quick look through the chat. Bussy Sniffer, welcome. Oh, he's back. Very good. Hello, Bussy Sniffer. Sorry, it's Paul's the main character. You know, there you go. Shadu, Amy, hello, Jackie, Jezelenko. I think I said hello to you before. And anyone else in the chat, whether you're Geelong, whether you're Carlton, whether you're neutral, we love having you on board. Don't feel free to comment. I will pick out someone who comes on. If you can come on if it's your first time, I think the link is pinned in the chat. Let me know if it's not the guest link. If you want to come on and have a chat about the game, let me know. I've got a few people in the room ready to come on. I've got the Vela family who've been waiting. We just had them briefly on before, but here they are. It's Bianca and Brendan. Turtle Power.
Turtle Power.
Hello.
How's it going?
Oh, yeah. I don't know. How's the
So
vibe?
where's
Declan?
Does that mean I'm fan of the year?
I haven't got Declan. Where's Declan? I don't know. He's not here at the moment.
He's filthy about the game, so no, you won't see him. Not worth his time. He's just like, nah.
No. No good. Talk to me. What do you think?
Okay, now
Go on, say, let him. Oh, he's here.
he's here. Now, I always say it's the umpires.
You do.
It was, but it was also some really bad efforts that we put in as a team.
Yep. No, it wasn't. We made a lot of mistakes, didn't we?
But for actual free kick count, it was 11-20, favoring Carlton.
Do you think that's because we got some decisions that didn't go our way, or because we were a little bit silly giving away free kicks, or do you think there's a massive conspiracy in the AFL that they hate Geelong and they want us to lose?
I didn't think the bad ones didn't come out, I think, until the last quarter. But
like it's Ocean Mullen.
I mean, we can't blame the umpires after our first 3 quarters. Like
it was not great.
It was horrible. It was just the only from the first 3 quarters, I think the only positive was Connor O'Sullivan. He kept us in the game in the first half.
His intercepts, he just went.
He was incredible, and he tried his heart out. Like, he got beaten a few times, but he was right there. Like, I love that. And I started thinking, geez, do you try him up forward, but you risk losing by 20 goals if you do that? Because, Shannon, come on. Just go for the ball. Like, I've thought about going back and doing like a mix, like trying to cut all of his clips of all of his contests he went for. I hate seeing it when the ball's in the air and he seeks out his opponent. Like,
just go for the ball.
Forget your opponent and mark the ball.
That's what he tells me. Just forget about it and just go.
I almost broke my TV when there was one point where he did it. I almost broke my TV. I was like, there's no need for it. His opponent was nowhere near him. The ball's in the air, and he stretches out looking for him. I'm like, no, go for the ball. What? It was, forget the drop marks. It's those ones that are killing me. Like,
yeah, but it doesn't matter if he drops marks. He just has to bring it to ground, like Paul said, for those dangerous forwards. Like, we have Stingle Mize when he comes back close, Sean Manor. But I want him to mark it 75% of the time.
I put on Twitter, can Tom Hawkins nominate for the mid-season draft?
Yes!
And they liked it because, oh my God, we need something. I was worried early in the off-season when we delisted Phoenix. Because I go, he may not have lit the world on fire, but guys his size, they don't grow off trees. And he showed enough. So I think it may have been his decision anyways, but you should have done more to keep him because players that size, like, geez, We haven't got anything at the moment.
Do we bring Nathan Kruger from the VFL?
We have to draft him. He's not on the
I don't
list.
think we have a mid-season draft pick, do we?
Nah, we need,
let me know if I'm
maybe-
wrong in the chat, but I don't think we do. So
We
it
need
looks
someone
like
to retire, I think.
he pissed off. Sorry, I swore again. I think Ted Closey was trying to, in today's game, Ted was trying to get him to kick it to him, and he just like, no, I'm going to kick this goal, and yeah, he butchered it. But Ted wasn't very happy with him. Kruger didn't do the team thing, so I don't know if I want Kruger, to be honest. I think he's probably maybe we've had a look at him, and so has Collingwood, and it just hasn't worked. So yeah, I don't know. Would have been good to keep Brendan Foster for another year. He might not have made it, but would have liked to see him have an opportunity. And sometimes you just need to give guys an opportunity at the top level to see so they can do it. Did you like? What do you think of Ollie Wiltshire tonight? Didn't get a lot of it, but what do you think?
He subbed off
I think
Taptic. He had 6 disposals and 3 marks.
His best play came like 2 seconds before he got subbed out.
Yes, that is true.
He burst through the centre and kicked up to I forgot who it was.
Jeremy Cameron.
Jeremy Cameron, and then boom, he was subbed out. I was like, oh damn. So I didn't see a lot of him.
I wish Chris Scott at least let him do a little bit more.
Yeah.
Because it would have been nice.
There was no shortages of guys who looked like they wanted to be subbed out. So,
yeah.
Especially early. But then even like we saw the first 3 quarters, we saw old Reece back. But then in the last quarter, the new Reece came back. He was like competing really well. But
we just need to do that for 4 quarters.
I don't expect it from Reece every week.
Why not?
He's a bonus if he gives us something.
But I want to go on his farm.
Oh, I didn't in the first 3 quarters. I didn't want to be anywhere near his farm in the first 3 quarters. He was back in the last one. He competed really well.
We all want to go to the Stanley Farm, so we'll have to have. I'm working on getting an episode at the Stanley Farm of Postgame.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
On the back deck there. We'll get the lights all set up, stage and all that sort of stuff. I love Reece. Tom De Koning's a pretty good player though, Bianca. So it's pretty hard when you come up against Tom De Koning. Sam figured that out last time around. He didn't play too well against his big brother last time, and now Reece, did his best. He tried hard, but
Sam De Koning absolutely Corey Durton just put the knee in his back and just went. He flied.
Sam looked like he enjoyed it too. Stanley Army.
Always good takes from the Vallas, say Frank. Says Frankie.
We try.
Frankie says.
We try to be fair.
My middle name's Frank.
But you should see him. He was jumping around. He was not happy. He was screaming.
Oh, yeah.
I had to leave the room. My eardrums broke.
Seriously? Dad screaming?
I was filthy. I was not happy.
He was banging furniture like.
I did too. We've got a little footstool in front of me, and I just go bang. I don't want to knock the connection of the computer out, but yeah, I was slapping it.
There's some things I just don't like seeing. I don't mind. Sometimes you just get beaten, and it just happens. But man, when you put in some of the efforts we did early in the game, oh come on.
We needed to play the first half of the last quarter for the full 4 quarters.
Yeah.
Yep.
Like going into the last quarter.
Wouldn't that be great?
I had a feeling that we would come back, even though we were down by 28 points. And so the start in the first 11 seconds, Jezza goal, and then who was it?
Jezza did well to finish with 4 goals, but it's probably one of his.
And then Blitzarves, and then Bailey Smith, and then Close, and then the umpires just went, "No, you're not having it."
This is the worst 4-goal game he's ever had. Like, especially in his first quarter was really bad, but then he just
the first quarter was horrible, just horrible. The first quarter, and I've got to try to. I think with Jezza, it's the Katy Perry song, isn't it? You're hot and you're cold, you're yes and you know. It's like you take the good and the bad, and goodness me, the bad's pretty shocking sometimes, but the good is amazing. But I don't think he was the
But-
problem tonight. No, I think it was
I was talking
part
with
of it.
Declan. I was talking with Declan, and he said, if we can't beat Carlton, I don't think we can beat Collingwood. That's what he said.
Yeah, I know. But did you think we were going to beat Hawthorn and Adelaide? So I guess we've kind of got two there.
Adelaide.
I thought we'd win one of them, but we got both of those ones. So I think we should have beaten Carlton, but I don't know. Maybe we'll look back, Bianca, in 10 weeks' time, and Carlton have actually become a really good side, and we'll go, oh, well.
Well, at the start of the season, I have no disrespect for Carlton, but they were not doing well. Well, their first halves were great. Their second halves were not. That's what I thought they would do. They would have a good first half, but then a really bad second half. I don't think that happened.
Yeah. Yeah.
Max Holmes. What did Max Holmes do much today? I didn't see a lot of Max Holmes.
Bailey Smith at 29 disposes of one goal. He just keeps
Butchered the ball a little bit, but still worked hard.
Do you know what I've noticed with Max
It's
Holmes?
probably his worst game for Geelong.
Yeah.
I
Max
don't see that.
Holmes.
It's not a bad game, though.
What I've noticed with Max, and I'm not sure how good you are on your left foot, Bianca, but I've noticed Max Holmes.
I'm terrible
Max
at
is starting to use his left foot a lot. Or it's about 3 times tonight he kicked it on his left. So I think, there you go. Hey, Max, I've still got to get mine. I don't have mine yet.
It's the new one.
Yeah.
I just got it at the AFL store.
I've got to get. I still don't have Dangerfield, and I think I've missed the boat in
What?
Kassel. You got the Dangerfield one? Yep. So why have we only got one bobblehead this year? Well, why have we only got the Max Holmes
Exactly.
bobblehead?
I want a Bailey Smith one. We've only got the Bulldogs one.
Where's Tom Atkins one? Where's
Oh, exactly.
Where's the Reese?
Reece Stanley?
Reese Stanley
Big ruck
No,
Reece.
give us me.
with a pitchfork or on a tractor or something.
Mitch in his army gear. Shawnee Manor, maybe. We'll take Shawnee. No, we've got to. Lawson Hunt, I would have.
Manor was good today. That was
Yeah.
someone that I forgot. Manor was actually good today.
11
25
tackles.
disposal.
Oh,
I
didn't know that.
he fumbled it a few times in the first quarter, but got better in the next as the game went on. Yeah.
G'day, Heidi.
Well.
Have we had Heidi in the chat before? I'm not sure. Apologies, Heidi, if you have been in the chat before. But yeah, Carlton has been a bit of a bogey side for Geelong, like the Sainers, and GWS, who 2 weeks away, coming very, very soon. But thankfully,
GWS at GMHBA, right?
Yeah, that's our
We
away.
do not like that.
That's an away game for us.
Yeah, technically. If we could do that, I don't think we've done that in the last 3 years, have we?
Maybe we'll go stay in Melbourne or something. The team will stay in Melbourne before that game and then travel up to Geelong the morning of or something.
it's like it might be one of those games where I just close my eyes the whole time and just can't watch it. Like when Dangerfield has a shot from 30 metres out directly in front, I just can't look. I just can't look. He's been good this year, Danger in front of goal, but sometimes I have to walk out of the room if I'm at home.
6 for the Coleman. I think he's got over 15 goals.
Well, he's actually got 350 goals all time tonight. He ticked that one off, so that was a bit of a milestone. Yeah.
Career, he's got 350.
350 in his whole career now, so he just got that tonight. So that was a good one. He'll probably get. Well, will he get 400? Don't know. Depends if he plays another year. If he goes on, he goes around.
He said sometime maybe last year that when Patrick Dangerfield was going for goal, he told me that he butchers the ball.
He does.
Danger.
The one part of his game that he's always struggled at is by foot, but you take it.
Yeah.
No one's perfect.
No one's perfect.
I think the best thing.
Everyone has a weakness.
The best.
Except Michardi.
Wait. The best part that I saw.
Just take Michardi.
I think the best thing that I saw Paddy do today was where in the last quarter, he ran through someone, handballed to Bailey Smith, and he kicks it from 55 metres out.
Ran through Sard.
Yeah, he just went.
Sard was like, "Nah, I ain't taking that."
Get off me.
Sard got
out of my way. Yeah. Get out of my damn way. Do you know who I am? I'm Patrick.
It was a shoulder.
Sard's face was like, he's not going to stop.
He was like a bull. He was a bull.
Is he going to stop? No.
Yeah. That was
It's like
good.
when I've never played chicken in a car before, but you
Yeah.
know what I'm talking about. You're driving head on with someone, and he's going to turn.
Yeah.
He's going to turn. No, danger don't turn. We need a T-shirt. Danger don't turn. Get out of danger's way.
Danger don't turn.
I'll put that
Sign,
on
new
the.
sign.
I'll put that in the Hoops Crew shop. I'll sell that T-shirt. Danger don't.
We're gonna make that new sign somehow.
Get out of danger's
Well, we
way.
still haven't done the Basalenka one.
Yeah.
Did you go to the game today, or did you watch it on the telly?
No,
Nah.
because I played football.
Yeah, Bianca played today.
Did you watch it Channel 7, or did you watch it on
KO.
KO?
Fox. Yeah, we watched on Fox.
Because I wasn't happy with the commentators. And,
Yeah, neither was I.
No.
For the past
They just
2-3 games, they have not liked us. I'm sorry, they have not liked us. The commentators.
No, we're unlikable. We just win too much, and everyone wants the upset against Geelong.
We keep backing up premierships
That's
and prelim finals, and guys like Lawson Humphries and Ollie Dempsey from out of nowhere.
Yep. No, I agree. It's just I don't know what they don't like about us. None of the commentators like us. When we win games, they until they know that we've absolutely won it, that's when they'll start giving us a little compliment. But up until then, it's like, oh my God, this team's going really well. Maybe such and such can come back and beat Geelong, or maybe they can hold on and win. But it was just, we had to change the channel in the end. We put it on Channel 7 after that, and probably listened to Brian Taylor or something. that was the choice that we made at that stage. I can't remember who it was. My mind was a blur at that point. I just couldn't. I was in a fog of disappointment and frustration, sadly. But Tom Atkins, 14 tackles, Bianca. 14 tackles.
I tackled like him today.
Guess how many free kicks he got for his 14 tackles? I wonder if you know, Dad. How many free kicks did Tom Atkins get with his 14
11.
tackles?
11.
I'm going to say what? 1?
2. Yeah.
2.
So he gets He gets no reward for his pressure acts and his tackles. Just nothing. He gets nothing.
Well, I had how many tackles did I have?
Yeah, a few tackles today.
And then I think only, again, 1 or 2 of them were caught on the ball.
Yep. Back to school tomorrow, are you?
Yeah.
Kick it.
And what's next week?
My 50th game.
Way, run through the banner?
Yeah.
No,
The
is it
banner
banner?
arrived 2 days ago. They delivered it.
And I'm the
outside our house.
first girl for our club to ever do 50 games.
Should I change the where is it? Your little thing over there? Should I change that to say 50 games or something like that?
Yeah, next week. When
Shout
we
out
beat,
in the
when
chat,
we beat
everyone.
them.
50 games.
When we beat them.
50 games. We'll definitely get it on. All right, well, I'll let you go because it's a school night, I think.
3, 2,
one more.
1.
Oh, 3, 2, 1. Sorry, we haven't done 3, 2, 1s yet, have we? Oh, this
You
is going
guys.
to be... Oh.
I don't have 3 players.
I do.
I don't have 3 players. Connor O'Sullivan 3. Mana 2. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah. Yep.
Cameron 1 just for 4 goals.
4 goals.
That's just like barely.
Okay. Bailey Smith 3.
3.
What was that?
Oh, well, he got
That's
a
a
lot of
tough one.
possessions. I'll give him that.
Sullivan 2 and Jezza 1.
Yeah.
Hang on,
Yeah.
I have to do something real quick.
All right. Hang on. Because Paul's going to love this. I don't think...
Show us the PJs, Paul. Come on.
We've been promised pajamas, but...
We need the PJs. What do we say?
Go Cats. Next time, hey. We'll get them next time. See you later. All right. Who have I got next? I think Ethan might be next. Is that right, Ethan? I think I said you're next. Correct. All the way. The man from San Fran.
That's
a tough
tough.
one.
You know, it's the next worst thing to losing to Hawthorn. I've really grown to hate these guys in the last couple of years. They remind me of like the Toronto Maple Leafs, Michigan Wolverines, and let's start with this. Carlton got some really good performances out of guys that you would have never expected, like Nick Haynes. All credit to him because he looked unplayable the first couple of weeks of the year. I didn't like getting them off of a run where, yes, they had played against garbage the last couple of weeks, but that they had, reasons to be confident. And like they got some really good performances from guys that you wouldn't have expected, honestly. Like Mackay actually kicking straight. Charlie Curnow did it without getting bad free kicks his way. Mitch McGovern's another one that, in addition to Haynes, has turned it on. Because, like, defensively, they did a really good job without Wiedering doing all that much. Like, broadcasters were talking about how he was dealing with injuries. But I also thought one of our positives, and then I'll get through, like, all the other negatives before I hit the few positives at the end. But I really liked when we matched up Stengel with Wiedering. And kind of used him as like the small forward to annoy the key defender. We've seen teams do that on Tom Stewart. We've seen teams do it on others. Brisbane's employed that a lot. I would like to see us do that in the next few weeks. We've got, I don't know if really anyone for Collingwood is the right guy for that, especially if Darcy Moore's out. But like, let's do that against Sam Taylor or Jack Buckley. Let's do that against O'Lear. Let's do that against like Harris Andrews. Because I think Stengel is starting to round into form, and that's one of the positives. But
it was good.
A bad game plan. It was a bad performance, and we put a lot of guys in position to fail. Playing Max Holmes on the outside when nobody could get a contested ball in the middle, and we were getting destroyed on clearances. Why not throw him in there? Instead, he was in a spot where, it was like waiting for the game to come to him, and it never came to him. Reece Stanley had been great for the last few weeks, but we put him in a position to fail because De Koning is just a bad matchup for him physically. Like, that should have been Blitzovs all day. And Tom De Koning's been great this year, but, like, Carlton have lost games where he's been great. They lost the Richmond game when he was maybe one of the best 2 or 3 players on the Oval. And throw that, you have just dumb selection this week. Jai Clark over Ted Closey. Why?
Oh, talk to me about that. Because I did look at the selections this week and I thought, oh, really?
I was not.
And Jai Clark and O'Shea's back as well. Wow. That's
Jai Clark.
Yes.
He's only 20. He's got plenty of time to be a good player. But it's time we stop. The conversation about him being the next Selwood has completely vanished for a reason. If he's the next Selwood, I'm the next Ryan Reynolds.
I'm the next Fabio.
Yeah, O'Shea.
You have Fabio over there? Is Fabio an American thing or is it just
It's actually a great reference to him in Moneyball, in their draft, they're in the draft room and they're talking to the scouts, it's like, we're not looking to find the next Fabio. And the old guy goes, who's Fabio?
Who's Fabio? Yeah.
But O'Shea, I said, a few weeks ago against the Lions, he was actually pretty good. I think he's a good wet weather player. Today, he was just awful. And of the 2 guys that you would use to tag, neither really tagged, and neither were good. Mark O'Connor was below 60% efficiency, and it's not like he was in a bunch of contests. I know our uniforms had a little more blue in them today. From a distance, they kind of look like the colors ran in the wash.
Yep.
But, like, we should be able to tell which team to kick to, and for the first half, we really couldn't. Bailey Smith was a pretty bad culprit of that. He redeemed himself some in the second half, but he didn't have the level of game that we needed. And, one of the things that when we got him, it's like, hey, now we've got a guy who can stand up against Cripps, against other top midfielders. And he was not that today. He showed some good stamina down the stretch. I'll say that. But I was not impressed with him. O'Shea just should not be playing if he's going to mail in a performance like that. Never mind that the push in the back against him was the worst call of the day.
Oh, horrible.
A series of bad calls.
Horrible.
The worst one. But I don't need to see O'Shea playing for a while after that. He really needs more time in the twos to actually figure things out. And between Duncan and Kolajashny and Myers, we have enough guys that we can give games to. I see 4 guys we could bring in next week. I just see probably 5 or 6 that should be taken out. I had an interesting exchange with, let me make sure I got this right. I believe it was Daniel James Warren on Twitter, who we were talking about Ollie Henry.
Mm.
And I get that the sub role is tricky. We still haven't really done it right. But Ollie Henry is playing like he's just scared of contact. It's like, I think of that play in the Super Bowl almost a decade ago where, Cam Newton fumbles and he sees the Broncos player going for it and just backs away. And it felt like that. And, I don't know if Polkinghorn's ready, but Daniel Warren did make a good point that as bad as Henry's been, he's pretty essential to our actual structure up front. And I think having him in there did probably help with that. Just, it's frustrating that I'm sure they had filed the paperwork before the play because, you file the sub and then immediately Wiltshire makes his best play of the day just as he's starting to acclimate.
Yeah.
And I give, Wiltshire gets a pass. Debuts are tough. You're dealing with not just adjusting the speed and the, playing in front of almost 70,000 people, but just the emotions, the jitters. Game 2 is a much fairer chance to assess. Like, who was it a couple weeks ago who was so bad on debut that looked way better in game 2? Trying to remember. It was someone at another club.
Oh, yeah.
Where it was like, you could tell those first game jitters were real, and then game 2 was just so much better. Was it someone for Port now? Maybe it was someone for, I don't remember. It's beside the point. I'll figure it out. But yeah, game plan wise, we did not do enough to succeed in the middle. Frankly, it looked at times like how we've made Essendon look in past years, where it's like, we're just bigger and stronger than you, and we're just going to barrel right through you. And they were able to do that to us. And for a while, that was kind of how we were rolling through Essendon. And yeah. I felt there was a lot of that. And then Jack Bowes, first off, he did really well in that defensive role last week. We throw him back in the middle. See, we had him in the wrong role. We had Holmes in the wrong role, but Bowes, just terrible. I mean, it's a reminder, every time we go and face a good midfield, he vanishes. And we saw some of that. And, man, the Suns look pretty smart for giving us him and the pick we used to take, Jai Clark, with how those two went today.
I'm trying to remember who we could have taken ahead of Jai Clark.
Let me pull it up.
Yeah, pull it up.
Because I love doing this after the fact. Let's see.
Oh, it's easy. I mean, and let me just agree with you as well. Jai Clark will be a good player with enough time. But he's just not there yet. He's not
there yet. Okay, within the next 10 picks, Ruben Jinby, one of the few quality players for West Coast. He's from the West, so I get not going there. Matthias Filippo, who should be getting games for the Saints. Oliver Hollins. Jasper Fletcher's a father-son, so let that go. Jed Busslinger debuted last night for the Bulldogs. Elijah Hewitt's another Westerner who's played well for the Eagles. And then Max Michaelaney. All right, he's from South Australia and was a father-son. Josh Weddle. Josh Weddle was one of their better last week. Oh, Darcy Jones at 21. Darcy Jones was probably one of the only players that played a good full game for GWS last night. So, yeah, there's a bunch there in the next, 15 or so picks. So I hope we're looking back on this and it's proven wrong. But right now, at least, and this is, into his third year, Jai Clark is barely getting to 10 touches when at this point in his career, Selwood, I was checking, he was, averaging 25 a game. So we can bury the next Selwood expectations and just hope for him to be a decent player.
We can compare him. The better comparison is Tom Atkins, I think. But yeah, if Tom Atkins is setting the bar at 10 tackles a game, which no one in the AFL is getting anywhere near that at the moment, then we really should be expecting similar level of intensity and pressure from Jai Clark around, that 6 or 7 sort of tackles a game and trying to get his 15 to 20 possessions and just, working on kicking skills and decision making, and he's just a really small kid at the moment. No, he's just, he
And
looks
I'm
like
glad you mentioned Atkins, because I think today was a reminder that you can't lean on him so heavily every week. He played his butt off and should have been paid multiple free kicks, because apparently if your last name is Hollins, you get an extra 5 seconds and it's not holding the ball. Whereas if you're Atkins or Mana, the moment you get touched, it's holding the ball. That's another thing. There were 2 totally different standards for holding the ball today. But
I know there's Carlton people in the chat probably aren't chatting away, but just watching this, or we're either on replay tomorrow and just going, oh, how salty are they? Blaming the umpires. Just look at the stats. Just look at how many frees they got in the last quarter. And the eye test, and a lot of neutrals were saying this as well, Geelong was just not getting calls. We were just not getting anything. And like, no, it's fine if Carlton do it. Don't worry about it. Anyway, it's not all about the umpires. We were crap. Geelong was crap.
But as for Atkins, we cannot, what I love about Atkins is that he plays above his talent level, but we're not going to be able to win games just on the back of him playing above his talent level, because, skill-wise, he's limited, and he had an okay game today instead of an outstanding game, and that's fine. But we needed him to be superhuman if we were gonna do anything with the way we arranged ourselves today. I know Shannon Neal's caught some criticism, and I still think we're misusing him. And I think some of it is psychological on his end, because this is a guy who cannot take a mark in the forward 50, but then you put him out in the contested mark along the wing, and he nails it every time. He's taken every single one of those. So I think some of it's just mental for him. But I said this last week, he has use beyond just the forward 50. And then also out of the discussion I was having with Daniel James Warren, unless Polkinghorn's ready right now, we're kind of stuck with what we've got up front. But you know who I would love, and this is one that really makes you wish mid-season trades were a thing, because he can't get a game right now, and he's an AFL level player. He's the same height as Ollie Henry and stronger. Callum Brown over at GWS. I would love to have him. Now, maybe he gets back in next week and they drop Jake Stringer, because Jake Stringer's been a disaster there. But I want Callum Brown. And sucks that we can't get him now, because he's like exactly what we're missing in the forward line.
Do you think Ollie Henry's going to turn it around or find a way to work with danger?
He can't be this bad, but it's not encouraging.
No, it's not. It's not looking good. But we've said the same thing about Stengel. Well, we've made observations have been made about Stengel as well, just not kind of working. And I thought Shannon Neal was going to front up this year and kick 2 goals a game, and I was way off. I think did he kick a goal tonight? He might have 5 or 6 goals on the season, so less than a goal a game as a key.
He had 1 behind from 4 touches. And again, some of that was that our forward strategy was bad. We were just bombing it in. I don't think we got Brad Close involved anywhere near enough, which I feel like I say all the time. And I thought without Brian, it would have been a great opportunity. And, and we said, Stengel turned it on when Brian went down last week. Would have loved to see more out of him and Close. And Stengel was better today, like I said. And I think even if it wasn't his best game, he had a breakthrough.
I think he can probably walk off the ground and feel like he's improved.
I hope the coaches had the light bulb moment where they see we just need to have him be, the little fly buzzing around the opposing team's big defenders to take them out. Because again, we've seen teams do that, like I said, with Tom Stewart. Think of what was it, McEntee for Port last year, it was a pain in the ass. Look, there are small forwards that can do this on any team. And we found out that Stengel can do that, and I'd like to use him more for that. See, other notes here, not putting Holmes in the middle. Bailey Smith kicking before thinking about where he was kicking. It was kind of Lee Carvalho's putting challenge.
Yeah.
Needed a feather touch and just kept selecting power drive.
The amount of times I said that tonight, you have no idea. The amount of it's a 2 meter handball, bang, like just absolutely slam it. And it just burst through someone's fingers. Like, what are you trying to do? Like, even Sam DeConning did it once tonight, and he's normally got the softest hands ever, but I saw him do that once tonight.
I thought Sam DeConning, for what it's worth, was fine today.
Yeah. Yep. I agree with that. I definitely agree with that. It's nice to be able
to actually play him in the back. I just think we mess up between Blitzovs and Stanley. And because when Stanley got involved elsewhere on the ground, he was kind of useful.
Yeah. Was Lawson Humphries the best on the ground? I'm just looking at the poll here. Lawson Humphries has got 51%
between him and Jeremy Cameron.
Jezza got 15%. 15.
Lawson had a very quiet second half, but I think that was also Carlton trying to avoid him.
Yeah.
Lawson's first half might have been the best half we've gotten out of an individual player this year.
Oh, he was incredible.
I mean, we're down 40 at halftime if Lawson isn't there, because he was fabulous. And I also thought Ollie Dempsey was quietly really good once again.
Yeah, no, he was a lot better this week, I think. I'm starting a new poll, by the way. Paul asked me to do this one before. I think I was just joking, but Geelong's worst player tonight. Let's see some names into the chat. I'm not going to put the debutant in there. I'm definitely not going to put the debutant.
You get a pass on debut, but I think you could go between.
Do I start with Oshin? I think we start with Oshin.
If we're just going alphabetically by last name, Bose.
Okay. I always spell it wrong. There you go. I think that's right.
Bose, Clark, Mullen, and O'Connor. I think it's tough to include Ollie Henry because of the sub. Like when we're doing our
Shannon Neal. I don't know. I feel like Shannon Neal over O'Connor.
I thought O'Connor just had some really bad turnovers, but I get the feeling O'Sheen is going to win this.
All right, I think the chat will definitely want O'Neill. O'Neill. Shannon Neely. I'm going to go Shannon Neal on that one.
Yeah, O'Connor had 4 turnovers, and that's only out of how many disposals? 16.
Yep.
Mana had 10, but I think a couple of those were he barely had the ball for a moment. Well, we got out of Sean Mana was perfectly acceptable. He'll have some moments where he plays before he thinks, but I'm fine.
I think that's a Mana game. Normally we tolerate Mana's good moments and bad moments, but the X factor that he brings, we'll live with that because what he offers is incredible upside.
Yeah. You take the good with the bad.
When everyone else is just playing at a level so far below what the club and what they expect of themselves, because they wouldn't come off and go, "Oh, what are you talking about? We played pretty well." They know they weren't that well. They didn't play that well tonight. You and I are sitting here talking bad about them, but they already know.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
Sean injected some life into this thing. I think it's interesting. I see a couple comments in the chat about Mitch Nevin. I think he probably would have helped us in the middle today, even if he's not great, because I just think
he's injured for a few weeks.
Apparently. Yeah, he is, which is unfortunate because it would have been nice to have someone else who could just insert themselves into the game physically. Plantar
fasciitis. I can't spell it, but Matt in the chat, how come Nevitt didn't get up? Plantar fasciitis, and I believe it's something that's been troubling him for a little while. But yeah, Mullen's leading so far, as we thought, with 67% of the vote. If you haven't voted already, well, maybe in your good conscience you don't feel right about voting on the worst player. That's fine. You can abstain.
Look, I haven't watched the Eagles yet, and I'll leave my brother, the Eagles fan, to decide who stuck for them. But we've been doing something this year, worst on round, where we pick basically just the worst player out of the entire week in the entire league. And there's room for redemption because among our first couple this year were Nick Haynes, who might have been best on ground today, and Zach Reed, who totally turned it around for Essendon a couple weeks ago. But I think Mullen's got to be a candidate today, along with, even though they won, who was awful was Charlie Cameron, which is not fun.
Yeah. Oh, he was horrible.
He was
what happened?
Again.
I feel so bad because he was such a exciting, electric
fun player.
And everybody loves him. I mean, it doesn't matter who you support. I think we all love Charlie Cameron. Vroom, vroom. But
he's great.
Yeah,
he was like one of the first players when I started following. It was like that first group of players that I started really getting into was like he was up there. Liam Ryan, Nick Natanui, McDonald Tipping Woody, Brian, obviously. And yeah, we definitely did miss Brian today, but I don't know how much we would have even gotten the ball up to a point where he could have used it with all the time we were locked in our own half and just couldn't find an exit. And it was like we were kicking to one Essendon fan I follow said it felt like Carlton had 10 more guys on the ground.
Yeah.
And, it was probably about 10 because you factor in that we had about 5 that really weren't playing and they had an extra 4 wearing neon. Put those together, that kind of is 10 extra men.
And head office. Sorry, I've got my tinfoil hat on tonight, clearly.
It
AFL
was
headquarters not fan of us at the moment.
It felt very similar to the St. Kilda game with bad game plan, making adjustments too slowly, and then putting ourselves in a position where we have to do everything right and probably get a better whistle. And we didn't put this in a position where we could just take care of it ourselves. And really, I think the only time we've done that, where we've just taken care of it ourselves, no matter what else is going on, is the Crows game. Because last week, thank you, Hawthorn, for kicking some straight to us, but it was a lot of taking advantage of them being bad rather than us being good. So to put that all into perspective and realize with everything that went wrong, that this ended up being a 3-goal loss, you feel all right about it. And then you look ahead at the upcoming schedule, knowing how tough GWS are. I mean, Collingwood next week, just to start with them. So the only thing that could save one of O'Connor or Mullen is maybe one of them tags day costs. Because otherwise, I would drop both of them.
Do you know the good thing? I mean, the scary thing is, yes, there's all these teams on the horizon on that we're going to be up against, and it's going to be tough. But we're actually not playing the ladder. You're never playing the ladder each week. I know that's a stupid comment to make. It's obvious, but we get a bit spooked about where we are and where the teams are ranked and all that sort of stuff. But at the end of the day, you just worry about next week, who you got in front of you, how are we going to beat Collingwood. Worry about that, and then we'll worry
about recent form. I wasn't looking at Carlton's. What was it? 2 and 4. I was looking at the fact that they hadn't beaten anybody, but they also were coming off of 2 wins.
Yeah,
and even if they were 2 wins against a really bad version of North and West Coast, that's confidence is real, and the mental effect of that is real.
Oh, the moment's having a laugh, surely. Why not at this point? Why not? Mullen to Dacos. Give it a go.
Depressing stat. So Carlton's first 2 wins this year were against West Coast and North. Their final 3 wins last year were Richmond, North, and West Coast. Their last good win before today was also against us. We were coming off a bye. They were coming off a bye, and we were just awful everywhere.
Yep.
So it's just of all the teams to struggle with, there's only one that would bother me more to struggle with. And that's the one we took care of last week. Like I said, we're playing the 3 most insufferable teams in a row. And I think there's a little decline in insufferability each week.
A little bit.
Yeah.
No one beats Hawthorn. And how good is it when you beat them? I wish I could just stay in that happy place for a little bit longer. And I can always go back to it. Through the week. If
Brian hadn't gotten hurt, I would have enjoyed that much, much more.
Yeah.
But, yeah, if he can get back, and I think John Ralph said he could, that would be a big lift. And I think Kolajashny could really help because, in the preseason, I think he actually, I never thought of this before, but, he actually really helps with moving the ball out of the back. And that's something where, Duncan could also help too, because you're talking with, was it Paul or the Velds, about his precision and his ability to read the field. And we could use some more of that right now. because that's something that we get out of Lawson. Biggest positive out of today was definitely that Lawson looked like the version we saw last year. And again, how bad is that first half if he's not out there? I mean, we're probably seriously down 40.
Yeah, it's game over before halftime. I was having a chat on the socials through the. I think it was either through the week or slightly just over a week ago, asking the question, what's it going to take to get Harley Reid to come to Geelong? You know, assuming he's interested in coming to Geelong, and what would you give up? And someone asked me, I think, would you give up Lawson Humphries because he's a WA kid? And I'm like, never. No, I think he'll be a. This is what I said. I think, and maybe I'm wrong, mate. Let me know if you just completely disagree. But I think he has a chance to be a top 10 player in the game. He's nowhere near it yet. Clearly, I'm not saying
he could be.
But I think he's still got levels. I think he
could be like what people think Nick Martin is.
Yeah,
because like Nick Martin is a lot of volume, a lot of empty disposals. Like you could take that. Those sort of like basic stats and then underlying more efficiency. Or he could be like, who I'm loving that's another young player that's like really smooth with the ball, just is doing it in more of a midfield role, is Frazier with the Bulldogs. If you watched him last night, man, he was good. And I see like, he's like if you took Lawson's kind of touch and vision and put it in more of a midfield role. Like I think calling him Baby Bont is inaccurate. But he's very good at what he is. And unless Lawson is like desperate to go home, he's untouchable. He's really good. So
I don't think anyone. He's not going anywhere. We're not letting him go. He's ours. We're keeping him. Shannon Neal. Another. Does Mitch Duncan want to be involved in the trial? I don't know. Nah, I don't know. I don't think we're getting Harley Reid. I like to joke about it a lot. I do. I mean, but it's not going to happen.
Best case scenario would be, if we're even talking about that stuff, would be Matt Rowell. First off, I think he's just, if somehow we could get him, he would be first and foremost. But let's not even think about that. Let's just think about like what can we do with the forwards until we could get Callum Brown. And yes, I totally agree with a couple of comments about us bringing out the best in some guys, whether that be Haynes, Fogarty, that one's kind of to be expected. Lobb at least has been doing it against everyone since then. But yeah, Harrison Penny last year. Lecalier was a hell of a story. But Zach Jones this year, that's another one. Like, look, Cripps was fine. He wasn't amazing. He'll probably get the 3 votes because the umpires love him.
Yeah.
I thought of like their main normal core, Hewitt turned it on late. We did an okay job with him. Walsh was very good.
I think all the guns were great. The same 6 Carlton guns, and I think Paul said this the other night too. You pit Carlton's best against any other 6 best against any other team 6 best. It's Carlton every day, I think.
I could go for the Bulldogs' best 6.
No, maybe there's an argument there. Tom de Koning, Walsh, and Weiner. It's a good top 6, isn't it? It trails off. It drops off pretty heavily after that.
And today they got contributions from guys beneath that.
Yeah, they did. Yep.
Which, like both the Hollins brothers, even though, yes, they were given way too long to get rid of the ball most of the time, those guys played well, especially start of the game. Like first quarter when we were largely there, aside from our own mistakes, like the Hollins brothers were very good for them.
Mm-hmm.
And they got some contributions. I like the kid Will White. He's gonna eventually. He should have been rising star last week. He'll get his.
Yeah.
And then, like the kid Carroll was good for them. So like, I am not diminishing the fact that as much as I don't think Carlton's a very deep team, they played well today, and it would have taken a good game to beat them, and it would have taken a better game plan to beat them. And instead, once again, this felt very similar to the Saints game in a lot of senses, and just like what times of the game we struggled, and then, kind of trying to get our stuff together late. And I said, like, oh, we'll get this back to just within 2 goals. And we did, 80-70, and that was as close as it got. I was just surprised that, instead of like wasting a chance for that next one, it was that, they got the next one instead of us doing something dumb.
Yeah.
Here's an interesting thing as we wrap this up, because I know Kiri and others are going to want to get on. We were actually the more efficient team inside 50 today by almost a full 10%. It was more getting there that was the issue.
We got smashed inside 50 today. Getting it inside 50, I can't remember what it was. I'll quickly have a look.
63 to 44.
Yeah. So smashed.
And our full field kicking was atrocious. Under 70% disposal efficiency. We held them to 38.1 efficiency going in, which tells you how good our back line largely was. I mean, I can't fault Humphreys for the one where he somehow ended up stuck with defending Mackay. Like, he's giving up, I don't know how many pounds and how much height.
He can't do everything. You can't do it all.
No. And O'Sullivan, who I think was all right today, Carlton did a good job exploiting, and I think it's going to be really funny when teams have this awakening after an offseason in the weight room, that O'Sullivan just isn't bulked up to the level yet where he's ready to throw down with, a hulking key forward. And that time will come. He is the guy, other than Humphreys, who I'm least concerned about development-wise.
O'Sullivan played one game in his debut season, and there's another Geelong defender who many would consider to be the best ever or top 3 of all time. Matty Scarlett played one game in his debut season as well. I'm just making a point that not that O'Sullivan's going to be the next Matty Scarlett, but I think probably just with a lot of our young guys, it's just going to take a bit of time. And just have the faith a little bit with them.
Oh, I totally do. I think
not you, just others, and you just hear it on socials all the time. It's like, give up. And I'm at wit's end with Mullen. I absolutely am at my wit's end. But look, if he plays 250 games and becomes an awesome rebounding defender, or a lockdown defender, oh mate, I'll be so happy for him. But I just don't want to keep giving him games every week as well. Just sometimes
Mullen and Clark are not worthy of AFL level games right now.
Yeah, you got to go back. Paul Chapman played, I think, 9 games in his first 2 years. Mark Thompson just said, mate, you're getting too comfortable with yourself, or something along those lines. And Chappie was getting all a bit big-headed, and Thompson said, no, midfielders are a dime a dozen. Go back to the VFL, buddy. And he learnt the hard way. So, a lot of these absolute superstars, these nearly 300-game players at the club, they do it tough in the first couple of years. So just got to be patient.
Yeah. I wish we could find a way to make some of the other guys useful as they're still developing, like we have with O'Sullivan, where it's we've accepted, all right, he just needs more time to get stronger for one-on-ones. We're going to make him, a really strong rebound player along the wing. I wish we could find something like that with other guys. Well, I'll tell you, who wasn't great defensively today, and it's kind of impressive that we kept them under 100, was that it was a very quiet game for Zach Guthrie.
Yeah. I think he was nervous at times, I thought. Just not as assured as what he normally comes across as, at least anyway. And the Blues were applying heaps of pressure on us. Credit to them. They were bringing it, but it was just that we're talking to Paul before, that the ball of shit rolling downhill, it just got shittier and shittier as the game went on. And just he was one that, for me, that's like, oh God, as the game's getting harder, he's getting more nervous, he's making more mistakes, and the pressure's on. And it's just like, just relax, mate. Lawson Humphreys is the most cool, calm, collected or see on a footy field. And it's like, oh, can we have more of that, please?
Here's something interesting, and I'm looking at the leaderboard for pressure acts today. No surprise, Atkins number 1 at 37. Bailey Smith second at 32. But then you scroll down towards the bottom. We have so many guys that hardly got any.
Yeah.
And, we had some of the issues that Carlton normally does, where it's like their best guys step up, and then who else is there? And today they had other guys, and we didn't. And compound that with the most of our best guys aren't able to win games single-handedly. And you get you get that. You get a game that, we made it interesting, but we were down, what? I think was the largest margin only 28?
I feel like that could be right. Yeah. I didn't feel like it went over 30 at any point. Yeah. I think it was pretty close for the most part. But it was getting scary at one point there. I thought, I didn't feel like Cats were going to come back. And we got it within 10.
That felt like as close as it was going to get because we've seen this how many times?
We've seen it many times. Did we win the second half? Because we know Carlton were pretty bad as a second half team. What did they kick?
We beat them by 1.
6 goals to 7 goals. Yep.
We beat them by a point second half.
There you go. Carlton, your rubbish second half football club.
Right? 53-34 at the half, wasn't it? Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yep.
Down 19 at half, lost by 18. Mission accomplished.
Yep. God,
also, we didn't kick a behind for the entire second half.
Really?
Now, on one hand, that's cool that we kicked 7 straight. On the other hand, we also had a lot of entries that didn't lead to a single point, where, we would have the ball right in front of the goals and couldn't at least just muscle our way to pushing one through. And, maybe just, even if you get a couple of rushed behinds, then all of a sudden, maybe that goal that cuts it to 10, we've had a couple rush behind and that goal cuts it to 7 and the heat's really on and just there's a lot that can be deconstructed. I'm glad that Chris Scott seemed frustrated because I think a lot of times we seem very laid back, like, everything's going to be all right. And I think there seems to be more awareness of the underlying cracks. And that's good because we've got a challenge next week.
Yeah, he's been grumpy for a week and a bit now, Chris. I hope the players are on notice. But I think it's the good thing about this football club. There's a lot of honesty. There's a lot of accountability amongst themselves, and that's what you hope. That's at the end of the day. I didn't watch this game tonight and didn't think the boys had a crack. I just thought for whatever reason they just were butchering everything, and it was not 1 or 2. It was easily like a dozen of them that were just horrible. Just couldn't hit a target, couldn't hit the side of a barn.
It was.
Yep.
I mean, I don't have disposal efficiency split into kicking and handballs, but Dempsey under 50%. I think he still made himself useful. Mana under 55, that's to be expected. But O'Connor under 60, Smith barely over 60. Holmes at 65. Yeah, it's just it was kind of,
Lawson Humphreys over 80% and had nearly 25 possessions. So that's usually what I look at. If your percentages, if your disposal efficiency is high, is that because you had 2 disposals like Ollie Henry or something like that?
And look at the number of contested possessions.
Exactly.
So there's another Sam DeConing. Half of his touches, more than half contested, and he was over 80%, and 11 intercepts, which second only O'Sullivan. So I guess that's a positive. And I think my favorite thing out of DeConing today was that after Durden took a hanger on him, he wasn't sulking. He kind of had this look on his face like, did that really just happen? Man. And in past years, we've talked about his body language and when things go wrong, he's not able to get a turn back around. And that is a positive. He did not let that kind of snowball. So there's a big picture positive along with, like I had said, the Stengel, learning that maybe we have another role we could use Stengel in. So that's about all. We've got to find a way to get more uncontested possessions because otherwise you're not able to control the flow of a game. And even before they got that last goal, they had taken the air out of the ball and slowed things down. And if you're playing from behind, you can't let a team do that.
No.
And we're going to have to deal with a team that's very good at doing that next week.
We are going to have to be absolutely firing on all cylinders next week. There's no doubt about it. And I wouldn't be surprised if we lose to Collingwood. And I probably won't even be upset if we lose to Collingwood, to be honest. But I just would like to see the guys go away and feel a bit disappointed in their performance tonight and really just work hard through the week to try and turn some things around. Effort is the most important thing in footy. Skill, and performance comes and goes a little bit, but show us that you're putting the effort in. And I think they were tonight, to their credit. It's just, it just wasn't clicking, sadly. And
if you look at some of the stuff before the fourth quarter, whether that be contested possessions or clearances, things that reflect effort, they were not positive.
Yep.
You know what I would have liked to see us do more of that I think was another way we kind of weren't in the right game plan tonight? Remember a couple times in past years, we did it some last year where it was like, all right, we know we're going to get beat on the hit out, but let's make sure that as second to the ball, we go and get the tackle immediately, kind of prepared to be the second into contest. And I don't think we were prepared to take that on. I think we kind of went in with the idea that, we're just going to be able to go straight up against them. And sorry, but that's not going to work against Tom DeConing.
No.
So again, that's another one where I don't think our preparation was right.
Some things to work on, that's for sure. But yeah, disappointing at the end of the day.
So hopefully Sidebottom shows his age next week because he's been on an insane run. Hopefully they all do, and then we can have a laugh about a team being too old and too slow. That would be great.
Yep.
We certainly looked slow today for a lot of the game too.
We can brag about how we've won 4 games out of 5, and we're in form. We'll forget about this one pretty quickly, hopefully. But
we're gonna have to earn that thing though. It's gonna be tough.
They're not going to give it to us. That's for sure.
No. 3-2-1. Been going back and forth. I think Cameron 3, just because even though he missed one early, he got his touch back later, and it got to that point where it felt like every time the ball was coming to him, stuff was happening. Lawson Humphreys 2. He's definitely either the 2 or 3. I think I'm going to, just because his second half was quieter, I think I'm going to go Cameron ahead of him. And then the 1, trying to find a third positive is a little tough. I guess O'Sullivan. Litzovs was fine in the role he was in. I just don't know if we utilized him enough. Because this felt like a game where, first quarter, he was the other one besides Humphreys that really came and set the tone. Yeah. And I would have liked to see us utilize him more there. So Blitz did a good job, but I think I'll go O'Sullivan 1. Yeah.
No, I think that's fair. I think O'Sullivan's doing terrific work to even be considered in the top 3 for us. Yeah. If you're a neutral or a Carlton fan watching this show, we're not voting best 3 players on the ground. We're just voting best 3 Geelong players. But
if we're doing best 3 on the ground, it's
probably 3 Carlton players.
Yep, Haynes, Walsh, Mackay, I think.
Yeah,
maybe you could go all midfielders. You could list like 5 or 6 guys that were their best before you even talk about DeConing, who was very good.
Yeah,
both DeConings were good. I'm glad that at least Tom didn't directly beat Sam.
No, and I'm glad that we didn't go with that experiment again.
No, it's just I think the idea there is like you look at the body types, but they're not quite the same. And I think again, Blitzovs is the body type who I think every couple months he can go in there and give you like a full ruck game, and today would have been a great time to do that. So we're going to need a better game plan next week.
Figure it out. Come back next week. Be better.
Yeah.
Win a game of football.
This is a really tough stretch of games, and winning next week would totally improve the tone.
Oh, mate, the vibe of the show would be out of control if we win next week.
I can't stand losing to Carlton.
Yeah, I know. But at least we beat Hawthorn. We can live. We can enjoy that a little bit longer. That's great.
Yeah,
got to let you go, mate.
Yep.
Thanks again for coming on.
Yep.
We'll try again next week.
And yeah, one last thing to one of the comments there. Yeah, Jezza is definitely getting older, and Stewart was okay, but he's not quite like taking over. And some of that's because we have other defenders that can take over. And he was playing hurt today, and we'll see what he looks like for next week. But I think we need to understand that like Stewart and Cameron, as good as they can still be, are a bit past their absolute peak.
Comes quickly too. The end does come very quickly. I don't think the end is coming this year for Jez. But I don't expect he's going to get better next year. Gee, wow,
I think
what an insight.
If he hopefully it's a gentle decline, and he's able to give us a few more years, and hopefully put another medal around a cow's neck. And then right off into the sunset.
Yep.
And yes, Jezelenko, I agree.
Did you hear that
full ground?
Did you hear the song I made about Jez's cow? Have you heard that one?
Sorry?
I made a song about Jez's cow.
I think I did. Yes, that was great.
Anyway, I'll have to give that a run another time. We'll give it some other go. All right, mate. I better get Kiri on. He's been waiting very patiently. Thank you again.
Thank you.
We'll see you next week.
Yep. It'll be a few hours later, I guess.
Maybe. I think, yeah. Yes, because late one. Yeah, that's true. Take care of yourself.
Thanks. See ya.
Go Cats. All right. He's been waiting very patiently. Let me just make sure I've got his thing up. Yeah, there he is. All right. Hello. Get your microphone on, mate. There you go. Boom. COVID. No, I can't hear you. Sign language, maybe. Come
Hang
back
on, I'll jump in here. Kiri, I can see on the back end that you're in the stream twice for some reason. So maybe there's some sort of little tech. Maybe if you just remove yourself completely and come back in, that might work. Also, hey, Paul, everyone, I'm back.
I'm kicking Kiri, the old Kiri, out, and hey, welcome back, Paul.
Yeah, I'll stick around until he jumps back in, just fill in the gap.
I can see you there, Scotty, too. I'll get to you shortly. I've got Lucas ahead of you, so if you're happy to hang around, or if you want to,
probably shirtless.
Well, we don't know because his camera's off. Scotty, I hope you've got your shirt on. We get to this time. I don't know if you've seen the show before, Scotty. I'm not sure, but welcome. We'll get you on shortly. But Lucas is often naked at this time of night. It is an earlier show.
There is his shirt at the riggers. Hang on. Oh, we got to almost let him in.
Don't let him in just yet. Don't let him in. Save it. Put it away. Put it away. It's only 9 o'clock, Paul. God.
That's all right. There were no nips.
All right. No nips. All right. I'm going to get Scotty on.
I'll get out.
I have no idea, Scotty, if you're a Geelong supporter or a Carlton supporter, but I'm going to pull up the debut. I'm going to pull up the debut graphic for you there. Show him some love either way.
G'day, Hoops crew. Good to see you.
You have been on before. You have been on.
I have been on before after the Port final. And I think
that's right.
I think we're seeing a bit of positivity here, fellas. You can't just have every game handed to you on a platter like it has been for the last 30 years. You have one loss against a shit team, and it's apoplectic. It's the end of the world. Guys, seriously.
Too much salt in our diet. We're allowed to get a bit grumpy every now and then, aren't we? We're used to winning all the time. So, it's hard. It's hard for us to not win.
Do you know where I was a month ago after 0-4? And then to come back and to annihilate the benchmark of the competition in Geelong? Mate, I think we all need to take a step back, have a breather. I know the last time we played you guys, we ended Tom Hawkins' career, and we might have ended Patrick Dangerfield's tonight. Patrick Stranger Danger, can only pick on kids, but he's got a lot to answer for next week, to be honest with you. I see he's sponsored by Shannon Pizza Neil. Ollie Henry, what's his fucking problem?
Got to get on the field. That's the problem. Only played like 20 minutes or something like that, didn't he?
You'll be playing 4 quarters in the 2s next week.
Maybe. I don't know. It depends on how many injuries we get out of tonight. I think there'll be some changes for Geelong. That's for sure.
I thought Tom Stewart would have been out in the first quarter, but apparently Tom Stewart with no knees is still better than one Ollie Henry with 2 knees.
Shannon Pizza Neil. You're getting some love in the chat for Shannon Pizza Neil. I'll go with that.
Hey, honestly, he's a good player, man. It's just you guys just. Oh, I said to my mates the other, early in the week, your backline really does not match up against ours. Your midfield really doesn't have a chance. The only way that you can affect us is by your scoring potential, and it just wasn't there tonight.
No.
Yeah, we did have our grand final tonight. These fuckheads at our club play up their Kassel at 3/4 time at every home game. It's embarrassing. Look, I hate Carlton as much as the next bloke, but we really do not do ourselves any favours. The only good thing that we've done in a long time is beat Geelong.
Yeah, and you celebrated your 30-year anniversary of the paper bag. We're calling it the paper bag and paper bag of cash anniversary. I think that's what we're calling it, aren't we? Where you draft
paper bags. If you want money, you come play for Carlton, bro.
Oh.
If you want a good minimum wage contract and and a media gag order, you come to Geelong.
What are you talking about? We're clean. We've done nothing wrong at all. It's a very don't say the TB one because I'll have to.
I won't. Don't worry. I'm good.
Just legally, we can't sort of do that. So
I know. Because I was at the game, I didn't realise. Did something happen with Bailey Smith in the first quarter at any point? Because we weren't booing them, even though we should have right from the start. But from the second quarter onwards, we were giving him what he deserved.
I don't know, but he wasn't awesome tonight, Bailey.
He just did what he usually does. If he can grab it out of the centre, he'll just bomb it blindly and hope it lands on someone's head.
I think it was almost like Carlton was happy to let him get it tonight.
Yeah, because he touches it a lot, but he does nothing with it.
Yeah, and there's a few players in the game playing the AFL that you sort of get a little bit more rope because they don't use it as well as others. And I thought Geelong. I mean,
I've got 44 of them on my list. I know all about it.
You've got some guns on the list, that's for sure.
All right. Name me your top 23 favourite best Carlton players
of all time, or just this one.
On the current list, mate. All right, I'll take your top 3.
Well, I would say Sard can't kick, even though you love to wolf him all the time. But
yeah.
Let's have a bit of a look now. Hang on.
The wolf is not an accuracy measure; it's the sound when he makes the kick.
Sam Doherty's a good kick, but he wasn't playing in the ones today.
Sam Doherty is an awful kick. He always has been.
I love him.
I used to love him, but now he's just packing up his super.
Yeah, he might be
robbing us on the way out.
Yeah, who else do you got? Oh, I just got clearly Lockie Fogarty, former Geelong Cat. I'm only saying that because he played for Geelong.
Who's the other one? There's another one on there. Do you know him?
Another player that played for Geelong.
Yep. It was on your list.
Oh, on our list. Hang on, give me a moment. I'll work it out. Tom DeConning will be on our list next year. So we're counting Tom DeConning.
Maybe you just blocked him out of your memory from PTSD for such a great job he did on Tom Stewart last year.
I've forgotten.
It's Alex Chincotta, who was unfortunately rest in peace. But I wish he was there tonight.
Yeah. No, not there.
Yeah.
Isn't Francis Evans around somewhere?
That bloke. He's sleeping with the fishes, as we say on Lygon Street. They will not be touching an AFL Carlton Guernsey for a long, long time. It's an inside job, that one.
Inside job. I'm getting a lot of the gong has sounded, Ben. I don't know if you've ever watched Hey Hey It's Saturday back in the 80s and 90s. That may be a reference that doesn't quite, that some of the younger audience might not get, Jez and Lenko. I'm assuming I'm a little bit older than you. I don't know. Maybe you're a very young-looking 50-year-old. I don't know. I have no. I'm not good with age. I don't know.
I'm an old chunk of coal. I'm 31, bro. I've seen more sunsets than I've got left in me. I've only seen one flag in my time.
Well, that's got an asterisk on it as well. That one. Let's just be honest about it.
I think every season that Joel Selwood's been in has big asterisks next to it too, and pretty much every player that's on your list currently. How's Brad Close affording all those Pokemon cards, eh? Looking for cherry collectibles.
He's a superstar. All right, give me your best 3 Carlton players from tonight before I listen to the chat and I boot you off.
It was really hard to pick one. The ones in the yellow shirts were my favourite by far.
Yes.
Number 35, he stuck out to me. He did a great job tonight. But as far as the ones in navy blue, it would have to be Tom DeConing, Harry Mackay, and Elijah Hollins. I picked Tom DeConing and Elijah Hollins to be the difference in this game at the start of the year. And Elijah, let's not. If we're not allowed to talk about some players' private affairs, let's not bring up Elijah.
No, we'll steer clear of that.
And what really disappointed me about that is that I didn't think that he would be able to reach his potential in this game, having only just come back a week ago. But he did exactly what I would have expected him to do, like an A+ performance from Elijah Hollins. And yeah, Harry Mackay, I mean, he's just he's the new god.
It helps when you get a push in the back free kick that wasn't there. That does help.
There was a certain mark by Blitzarves that I don't think he even got hands on it that got paid, but that was the only time you guys got stirred up. That's what I mean. You can't expect every game just to be handed to on a platter. Sometimes the teams actually have to work for their wins. Just get it in the end.
Geez, we must have been pretty lucky to win 4 premierships. Just luck, all luck, just to get to the ground. Just somehow fell over the line.
Simmons, cherry collectibles.
You're very brave for coming on and just giving a shit. I'll give you that. I'll give you credit.
I just wanted to give you guys a rev up. It's been so miserable tonight. It's only a loss. You guys are going to make prelims and lose every year. So, like, what's there to worry about?
We're hurting too much.
Hey, in the last 30 years, I've had 1 prelim and 2 good wins against Geelong. Now that's all I've got to hang my hat on.
Yeah. All right.
So
I'm going to
chin up, fellas.
Chin up.
And go Pies.
I still can't work out if it's. I've got to get rid of that little graphic. Sorry, I still can't work out if it's Carlton or Collingwood. I can't remember. All right, Kire, are we good? I think we're good. Boom. Hello.
Can you hear me? Hello.
Yeah. I've got you.
Finally.
Gotcha. Are you going to bring a bit of common sense?
Whoever that bloody Carlton nuffy was, gee whiz, unbelievable.
We indulge everyone to a point, but the chat was getting a bit time. Enough's enough. The chat had enough.
Unbelievable. Honestly, mate. You know, far out. Right. Well, obviously, I'm not in Cat's gear. I was obviously at the soccer today, so. Yep. I didn't catch most of the game. I listened to the first quarter on K-Rock on the way to the ground. Throughout the game as well, I'll quickly say Adelaide United, they played elimination final for the women's comp. We beat Western United 1-0, which was really
Cool.
good. And now we're advancing through to next week. We're facing the scum of Melbourne Victory in 2 legs. So I'll be there for that one. Hopefully it doesn't clash with another Geelong game, but it was really good. No, it was a really good game. But yeah, like I said, I listened to a bit on K-Rock on the way to the ground. I was checking the score on my phone from time to time because I didn't want to look like a loser, like watching the footy on the phone at another sport event, because why would I do that? And yeah, the second quarter, the score was like it's growing and growing. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
One of these games, isn't it? And then halftime at the soccer, I watched a bit of the third quarter, and we're chipping it in. I think Dempsey got a goal. I thought, okay, we could get back into this. We just got to be more cleaner with the ball, just like what we did against the Crows. As long as we're more clean with the ball, we'll find a way to win. But yeah, but seeing from the Twitter feed and all of that, and oh goodness gracious me, the bloody umpires giving Carlton the platter. Like, was it like 16-2 free kicks at the end? Like, fucking disgusting. Honestly, like, look, they were the better team. They were the better team in the first half. We put ourselves in that position, but gee whiz, they're fucking killing momentum. Honestly, like, and that just pretty much set the game. Like, fucking hell, I hate losing to these pricks, Ben. I absolutely hate losing to these fucking pricks. Like, oh, gee whiz, mate. Weird.
I know the feeling. I know when you go to a game at the MCG, and I didn't go tonight. I stayed home and watched on the telly, and I just went last week to the Hawthorn game, and I wanted to get on Postgame Live pretty well. I needed the hour and a half after the siren to calm down a little bit, and I'm glad I did. But yeah, at the MCG when the Carlton fans are there and they're up and about, and goodness me, do they love it? Do they love themselves?
Oh, it's just, it's like they celebrate like they won the grand final. Like, fucking honestly, mate.
I know.
It's been fucking 30 years.
And there's nothing wrong with enjoying football and enjoying having a win. And I don't ever want to take that away from anyone. Like, are we going to be hard on North Melbourne if they have a win? No, we'll celebrate with them. As long as it's not against us. But goodness me, do they carry on though? They carry on. That we're world beaters. What the hell? We're a passionate club. He's still here. Get him off.
Still here.
No, just kidding. It's all love. Look, they do enjoy having a win, and they do enjoy probably making it bigger than what it is. But good. They beat Geelong. They've beaten Geelong 3 out of 4 times. That's probably the thing that hurts me the most, mate.
Well, they're a bogey team now as well. Like, we can't beat it. Like St Kilda, we can't beat them for some strange reason. Like, I'll be honest. Like, I actually thought we were going to win 30 or 40 points today. Like, the way we beat the Crows, we beat the Hawks on Easter Monday. I thought, as long as we play a complete 4 quarters of footy, I think we'll be all right. So I'm the fucking dickhead now. I'll put a pie on my face because of that. Like, bloody hell!
I'm just looking at the chat. I'm just looking at the chat, and I don't know if this is real. Paul, you might want to just do a bit of a fact check on this one. But a former AFL player. Well, you brought it up anyway.
It's legit. This is all legit.
Shit.
Yeah.
So
I saw on Twitter as well. Yep.
Yeah, this is all legit. It's about 2 weeks old, as it turns out, but it's hit the media today, so that's all legit. Anyway, I'll bounce out here again.
Wow.
Yeah, no, that's real. That's real, Ben. I saw on Twitter a couple of hours ago. Yeah, terrible. It's absolutely terrible.
Thanks, you do. Thanks for sharing that. That's that's not great. And North has probably had enough crap. It's been bad enough on field, and not that he's associated with North anymore. And I know Paul was trying his best to get him to Geelong to recruit.
None of that. Also, he was the hostage, just to be clear. He was the one taking hostage.
Okay.
Yeah, that's the thing.
He negotiated, got his way out of it, and then called the police afterwards.
There you go.
But yeah. Enough of that. I wasn't recruiting him that hard.
No. Yeah, look, bogey team. As I said,
Yeah,
what do we
100%. Like, and it's like just again a few players missing in action. I've been very critical of Ollie Henry the last few weeks. I thought maybe like today, this would be a good opportunity for him to be the sub, play like a Gary Rowan sort of role, bit of a spark in the forward line, but he did not deliver that today. And you know what? I think he's going to need a stint in the twos, I reckon. Bring in Jay Polkinghorne. He was bloody brilliant in the VFL today. Jai Clark, I can't believe I'm saying this, Ben, but I'm nearly drawing a line with Jai Clark, Like,
really?
I know he's 20 years old, he's young, but mate, how many more chances are we going to keep giving this guy? Honestly, like Ted Closey would have been a better option. Why did Ted Closey get dropped? Seriously?
Yeah, that was poor because Ted didn't get dropped. Well, he got dropped and then he became he got activated as the
sub,
on the emergency list and came in as the sub and barely played. And then, okay, that wasn't good enough, Ted. You're going back to the twos. But there might have been more like have a full game in the twos. And there's a long-term strategy as well. Like they want to get games into more than just, 26 players. They probably like to get games into about 30 players over the course of a season if possible. But I felt bad for Ted. I thought I liked what I saw from Ted.
He got shafted big time. Like,
He really didn't think he was going to make it necessarily. And then he started to put together, I don't know how many games. I think he's played about 5 games this year. I think something like that. Yeah. So,
I don't know.
It's a shame.
He just I'm not asking for 20 or 30 touches from him, but it's just like Jai was struggling to keep in the game. I was hearing on K-Rock on the way back home as well. Tom Stewart, I think he's carrying something. They're also saying as well, does he benefit a 2 or 3 week break as well? Do they manage him? Because I don't know how long Jack Henry's got back. Collar Jasny played in the VFL today. Expect him to return as well. Yeah, Tom Stewart has just been well below his standards as well, and it's really concerning. Like you said with talking to Ethan, Tom Stewart is the same age as Jeremy Cameron. Like he's on the twilight stages of his career as well. He's a fantastic player, absolutely, but
I know. And it's just some players that you've seen. We've seen it with Bailey Fritsch, and who couldn't miss as Dead-Eye Dick. Jack Gunston used to be a Dead-Eye Dick. Still pretty good in front of goal. Luke Bruce was a Dead-Eye. He couldn't miss. Some players that just – Jeremy Cameron was one of those that just never missed. And now we're seeing Nick Larkey miss goals too. He's pretty good. But it's like it's starting to look. Jezza will make us all look stupid in a week or two, and he'll bob up and kick 8 or something like that. He will,
and I hope he does. I really hope he does.
The signs are starting to appear, aren't they? There's definitely a dip, a noticeable dip, not just in a single game, but over 15 to 20 games. We're just starting to see that sort of the first signs of a bit of a drop off, and he's still he's an all-timer. He's a Hall of Famer, let's be honest. But it's happening. It's happening soon, and I think when it happens, it'll happen fast with Jez. Because
I'm just thankful about it. I'm just thankful with our youngsters at the moment, like Lawson Humphreys and Connor O'Sullivan. Without these blokes, I reckon this would have been a 40, 50-point loss. And he'll be certainly in my votes, Lawson. He was just outstanding, particularly in the first half, and we have to keep this guy. Give him a 10, 15-year contract. I don't care. There's no way he's going to be part of the Harley Reid trade. We could put Mitch Duncan in if you want to go back to your home state in WA. West Coast needs some veteran experience, so do your 300 games over there as well. So,
Yeah, I know. Oh God, no, we can't get rid of Lawson. No, I just couldn't. We couldn't do it. And
No way.
it would just rip the heart and soul out of us if we did
Oh.
that. Lot of Paul's trying to wind us up in the chat. He's trying to get me all fired up about Scotty because I don't know if you went on before, but I was playing the Ninja Turtle music a fair bit.
Yeah. I listened to that. Yeah.
I'm not
that
trying to
was
get you
funny.
riled up about Scotty. He's got all of you. He's got everyone in the chat wound up. I'm just
Well.
pointing out that he's playing everyone like fools. He's got you covered, everyone. Just let's cool our jets. Don't worry about it. Bit of banter's good for us. Have fun with it. I also quite liked his comment about the baby oil that Danger's applying. There's probably a few robust bedroom activities that might have been interfered with by the fact that people couldn't get their baby oil. Anyway, Dickie Neat.
We're getting a lot of what is it? Hey, it's Saturday references tonight.
That was the Dickie Neat reference.
I know it's the second one. We had the gong before as well in the chat. You know, the gong.
I was doing that in the waiting room. I was like, get out of here.
Get out of here. Lucas has disappeared momentarily from the green room, but he was furious. He was puffing. The nostrils were flaring. Lucas, if you're still around, come back because we'll get you on. But he might be putting his shirt on because it was getting a bit cold. I don't know if it's cold in South Australia at the moment, but
yeah, a bit chilly. Like, I should have brought a bigger jacket. Like, bloody hell. Like,
yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Look, can we? We've won 3 on the trot before this. It's definitely not panic stations, is it?
No. I don't think so. And like, we're just going to move on to next week. Collingwood's obviously going to be no easy task. They're going to throw everything at us. They're going to throw the kitchen sink, everything. But I have absolute faith that we'll bounce back real hard. And I'm confident we can beat Collingwood. Like what Ethan said, yes, still side bottom was very good in the Anzac Day game. I thought he was outstanding as well. I watched that game too. Well deserved the Anzac medal. But him side bottom. This is the new Dad's Army in the AFL at the moment. We don't have that crown anymore. Collingwood has that now. Let them peak. At the moment. Let them win their premiership in April because come September time, I reckon the wheels will fall apart. And heavily relying on the Dacos brothers as well. Like, because who else have they got? And I think I've got every faith that we can beat Collingwood next week, 100%.
I agree. I think we can definitely beat them. I think we probably forget about this game for a moment because, that's the thing. You go into next week against Collingwood just with the memory of Geelong's performance tonight. But if you put this one away, pretend it never happened, this would be going into the Collingwood game as a 50-50, a coin flip type game.
Yeah.
And I don't believe that win 6 you're bound for a loss. I don't believe in that necessarily at all. But I'm curious to see, and we have seen a bit of a sample size now. But let's just see how Collingwood go against a really, really good team, which we still are. Yes, they beat Brisbane. That was impressive.
Yeah, which was the only, probably like really good win. They beat Port Adelaide early. Sydney in the gather round, and Essendon. Bit of no disrespect those, but bit of cellar dwellers, to be honest. Like and I think we'll be up for it. I have every faith that we can do it. The Hawks were up and about earlier in the year. The Adelaide Crows certainly here as well in the gather round. As we're cleaner with the ball, we'll be fine. We'll be absolutely fine.
And it'll be great to beat them too. Oh, I don't know. Well, hopefully we get 90,000 at that one. It was a bit surprising tonight that we only got 67,000 at the MCG. We've averaged
I heard that.
We've averaged about 81,000 against the Blues in recent times.
They were giving away $12 tickets and they still couldn't sell out.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There wasn't much belief going into it. There might be a bit more belief now, but they clearly didn't.
Club.
Put your big boy pants on, Carlton. Put them on.
Trying
You
to
know,
think, this game we could have played it at bloody Marvel, Like, oh
Well,
wait, we
Virginia
don't
Park.
like Marvel.
No, let's not play Marvel.
No, not
Nah,
Marvel,
but
but
our next home game, they may as well fucking come to Geelong, They're only getting 60,000. Like,
what's the
yeah.
point? Seriously, like,
yeah.
no, I think that looked generous too. The 60,000. I'm gonna say one more thing about Carlton. Oh, I'll probably say a few more things, but just while I think of it, and it involves Sam DeConning. Sam DeConning's on a poster. I don't know if you've seen the mark.
I heard on the
Corey
radio. Yep.
I think Corey Durden's mark. Yeah, Sam had a good laugh about it. To his credit, like normally he's a bit of a sook and he sooks it up, and but no, he saw the humor in it, and it was a good mark. It was a good mark.
Yeah.
In front of the 67,000 that turned up.
No, and I thought I have to give credit where credit's due. I thought their midfield was outstanding today. Like, Cripps and Walsh, but George Hewitt. I think outside of Cripps, I think George Hewitt is their best midfielder in that team.
He's pretty good.
He doesn't get enough credit.
Leighton's brother, I think. Joking.
Oh, jeez. I was so slow with that joke. Bloody hell. Oh, bloody hell.
Is there any other Hewitts that we know? Oh, what's the one that did he shag Princess Diana? I don't know. No, the one that looks like Harry, Harry's dad. I don't know. I'm not convinced that Harry's father is Charles. But anyway, that's a whole nother YouTube channel. Royal conspiracy theories. I'm going to run a poll. Is
like,
Harry's
share, and subscribe, everybody.
Is Harry's dad King Charles? Yes or no? George Brownlow Hewitt. Yeah, possibly. Goodness me. They know we're coming.
Yeah.
What are you cooking? Are they still cooking? Is Carlton still cooking something? I don't know. They've been cooking for a while. It's probably overdone. What's Harry's dad's name again? I know it's Charles, but the other guy that I don't know.
Yeah, I can't remember.
It was the polo guy. Anyway,
I can't stand the royal family. Stuff them. What was his name? Prince Philip. Doesn't he have a Greek background? I think he did. Oh, yeah, he was born in Greece, but it's like he had a British accent and all of that, and it's more of the bloody German background he adopted. I don't think he's a real Greek. Sorry.
No, not really. But they're all from Germany.
Nah, mate.
Nothing against Germans at all. But yeah,
nothing against Germans, but he's not a real one, mate.
Well, I'm just going to go back to the poll. We've got 43 votes on Geelong's worst play tonight, and I feel bad about running this poll. So, if you are a Geelong player, you happen to stumble upon this video, I'll apologise. I'll apologise. I'm not going to try and explain it away. It's just a bit of frustration in me coming out tonight. I was chatting with my partner, and she said, just got to be yourself, mate. Because I was like, I don't know if I should just try and rein it in a little bit. I'm grumpy. I'm angry. She goes, just be you. This is kind of what Postgame Live's about. Just be you. Tell it how it is.
I mean, Lucas will have a worst on ground, 100%.
Lucas will probably get the third stump out at some stage.
Yeah.
He's back on now. I hope he doesn't, because I'll have to pull up the.
We made plenty of dicks out jokes last week.
Yeah.
Thankfully, it never happened.
We'll have to. Did you pull up the parental advisory?
Yeah, I did drop that a few times. What? I know you couldn't make the show, but what? You didn't sit and watch the 2.5, 3 hours replay? Come on, Ben.
Oh, I watched it in bits. Yeah, I did. I did watch it. I do watch. I try to watch all the content on the Hoop Show because got to get the numbers up, and I'm gonna see what's going on, and I've got to give you guys some feedback and some notes and all that sort of stuff, and let you know what you're doing well and what you're not doing so well and all that. That's my job.
And pump bullshit about Ninja Turtles into my comment section. Fuck you, man.
Oh yeah.
Evil shredder attacks.
It's almost as good as the second verse of the Geelong Cats theme song.
you know my thoughts about it, mate. Honestly, fuck, get rid of it, mate. Honestly, I don't care if it was written in the '60s and all of that, but
No,
it's terrible.
I don't know.
Terrible.
Was it really though? Is that a fact that it was written in the 60s?
I don't know. Darren Gilmore, if you're watching, fact check me, mate.
DG. I keep saying DJ. He's not David Jones.
He'd know. Yeah, he'd know it. Yeah.
Oh God. Look, we'll be all right. Next week we've got Colin. We'll be back. We'll bounce back. Don't worry about that. We'll definitely play.
We'll bounce back. We'll bounce back, and we win. The shirt's going to be off as well. Don't worry, mate.
Oh no! What is with this show? Just really just going down. It's gone to this place where I don't. Hello to everyone who's all 30 people in the chat at the moment. If you're still watching, you've probably just been waiting for a bit of Lucas Nipple. That's probably what you're still here for, I'm guessing. After the 2 hour and 10 minute mark, it's like, woof, we're going to get some Lucas Nipple at some point. I can't wait for that.
Sorry, Ben, if you're getting a bit too precious, you can leave. I'll take it from here.
No,
and
fine.
also, Jezelenko, I think, deserves the pizza for this comment that I've got pinned at the moment. That is head set gold. It continues the wildly inappropriate theme. But
do you know, I did actually have Jezelenko in the shortlist already. So there you go.
Yeah.
Yep, definitely.
Just got a in the chat as well, like poll, which Ninja Turtle character is Paul James?
Which one is he? I like this one. This is my.
I reckon he's Donatello. He's a smart lad. He's a smart lad. You know.
I don't know. I think he's Michelangelo.
Michelangelo.
Actually, yeah, I'm going to try. I'll be calling and singing your praises when you beat those Pies, fellas. Very good, Lucas. Are you still in the chat, Lucas? Turn your camera on if you are. All right, I'm going to keep you online, Kiri. And I'm going to bring Lucas in. Here we go. This is, I don't know. Parental advice.
Getting the man, the myth, the legend. Hey.
I hope he's got something on downstairs.
Well, first of all, so Scotty, you've been here 5 minutes, mate. All right? Just leave the comedy to me, mate, all right? And when you go sucking fucking Blue Abroad's dick and his fucking cams, all right? So, you know, because that's all I'm hearing from them. Oh, we're back. It's on. We're back. Back to what? Back to putting your fucking VCRs in the VCR machine from Carlton's last win.
Yes.
You know, just relax, mate. Just fucking relax.
You tell him, coach. You tell him.
Oh no. Oh dear.
Championship of the 21st century.
That's it.
Yep.
Or
yep.
No, I watched Geelong's 2022 Premiership on a 4K Ultra HD, not a VCR from the fucking 90s. So you've won jack shit. You've won jack shit.
Paul, I'm going to bring you in as well, just because we're mixing it up. We're going to get a 4-person panel going tonight. There we go.
Fine, but bear with me a little bit because I'm uploading a show at the same time. So
that's right. That's all right.
If I go a bit, well, you said I looked pixelated before. If it goes to shit now, you'll know why.
Sorry, Lucas. It's all you.
I don't know how long it'll be before I see you next, but just be prepared for the right hook coming your way.
Well,
I think we need to get Lucas and Scotty back in the room again because how entertaining would that be?
We'll all clear out for that.
We'll clear out.
We'll be there.
I'll turn my camera off.
That'll
be.
Oh, really? Yeah, I want that. I pray for times like that.
Oh, yeah, he's back. Let him in. He just watched the grand final tonight. Remember?
Hey, fat boy.
Hey, why aren't you sucking off Blue Abroad on their show? Why are you here?
Now, hang on. Let's all keep in mind that we're here having a bit of fun before we get too stupid about it.
Terry is a great man, and unfortunately, his show is way too popular for a dickhead like me to get on. So don't you ever besmirch Blue Abroad's name in my presence.
We love, speaking for the Hoops crew, Ben and I love Terry and the team.
Well, he's the GOAT, man.
No, Terry's the
So-
goat.
so-
Terry
So,
leads the
Scotty,
way.
where's your VCR, Scotty?
My VCR.
Where is it, mate? You know,
Yeah,
to watch your
where's-
lovely
where's the
Carlton
brother?
grand final.
Yeah, get your shirt off, Scotty.
What is happening to the show tonight?
Oh fuck! What are we
Come
doing
on,
here, guys?
Come on, hero.
I actually my VCR was actually stolen. I have to go to the Geelong Magistrates Court next week to sort that.
All right,
that
all right, all right. Hang on.
All
We
right,
leave that
hey,
couple
hey,
alone.
hey, hey,
We all like to stay on the right side of the legal system here.
That's all right, Scotty. I got given a encyclopedia of the history of the Carlton Football Club because I got my house robbed, and I want to see if I could identify anybody in that book. So that's all right.
What are you trying to say about the Carlton faithful, mate? Are you saying that that certain demographics are of an untrustworthy nature?
They were the
No,
ones that took Taron Thomas
I'll
hostage.
tell you what. Being in Adelaide like Kiri, like we've got the toothless ferals here in Port, but when it comes to your fan base, especially on social media, they are the absolute worst, the scum of the earth.
Name them, shame them, because I can tell you they're the best of the best. Prime Walsh, he's my goat, number one.
Not Brian
Well,
Walsh.
we can start with the besties. We can start with Blue Abroad.
Besties are trash. Besties are trash.
That's probably the first time I've agreed with you on the show.
Honestly, we can agree on that because they're a bit too big for their britches.
Dude, we got Blue Abroad, Pommy, and Oz. You know, I saw him on the Blue Abroad fan cams. You know, sucking him off, saying, "Oh, we're gonna win the grand final. It's on." 4 weeks ago, mate, you were sacked boss.
I watched that exact same fan cam. He did not say such a thing. But it's good to know that you watch every single fan cam to know what they do. I just pop in and pop out on the Hoops crew, but I love you guys. All love.
All love. All right.
I have nothing negative to say about Hoops crew.
All love, brother.
I'm actually thoroughly enjoying Scotty's presence tonight.
All right. I'm calling it.
But
Thanks. Scotty's gone. Scotty's gone. I'm gonna give Lucas his moment. I'm kicking you out too, Paul. Come back in a minute.
I'm enjoying the fun.
Scotty, I'll see you in the car park at 10 p.m.
In the car. Oh God, with the baby oil. Oh God. Oh wow. I'm glad you save it to the end, Lucas, because it is. I do worry if you jump on early, where this show goes. But
we'd be cancelled. Don't worry about it. If we went prime time, we'd be cancelled straight away.
Yep. Referee waved it off. I think you won on
Say
points.
no more, Brendan. Say no more.
It might be a rematch, possibly. We'll see. I'm assuming Scotty will be back at some stage.
Do we play Carlton again this year? Do we play Carlton again this year?
Do we? Do we play Carlton again this year?
I don't believe so. Geelong.
Okay. No Carlton again this year.
Because, where's the so-called
that's a shame. That means
members?
we won't play them in the finals because they won't make finals. So that's a shame, Scotty. But
Geelong, where's your so-called 90,000 members as well?
Yeah, look, today's game was just fucking pathetic. You know, I thought Shannon Neal was as fucking useless as having a fucking stiffy in an ice bath. You know, it was fucking horrendous. You know, Jeremy Cameron, you know, hot in your cold Katy Perry, mate. Go grab your espresso and go join Sabrina Carpenter, mate. You're done.
Come on, mate.
We'd get demonetized if I played it. I know Paul likes getting demonetized every other day.
No, I don't.
But why the hell is Brad Close not in that poll? Did he play basketball?
The worst players tonight. Who did you vote?
Brad Close was an absolute disgrace. I hope that's his last ever game for Geelong.
I'm closing the poll.
If he didn't miss one handball, he missed 100 handballs. Tonight we couldn't handball for 5 meters. It was like there was an allergic barrier between us and the Geelong player. so we couldn't handball to save our lives. It was just absolutely embarrassing against those Fogs at Carlton. And I'd date a Hawthorn fan before I'd go anywhere near a Carlton supporter. So it's gee, I'll date any fan the way I'm going anyway. But it's just an absolute disgrace that we put up that performance against Carlton. I would have accepted last week. No, I wouldn't have accepted last week. So that's Connor Nash. You are dead, Connor Nash. You better leave fucking to Ireland, mate.
Yeah, meet me outside.
You bet up West Coast. You bet up nobody, and you think you're back. You know the wizard hats on. You look fucking stupid with that hat anyway. Wizard my ass fraud. You know he's got the Harry Potter experimento, and and nothing's happening. So good actor there, the wizard. And he didn't even do anything today. I think he did fuck all today. So that shows you how good he is going. Harley Reid, I don't know what he wants. I don't know what he's doing. He was playing up forward today, kicked a couple of goals.
Did he? Okay.
But right now, if GWS want Jeremy Cameron back, you can have him back, and we'll get Hogan back to the club. We'll take Jesse Hogan, because I'm just sick of this guy. I'm just sick of this guy. He's not Katy Perry, mate. You're not hot and cold, mate. This. Every time you play shit, we are shit. You're a best player, or so-called best player. That's now Dangerfield. Any chance of giving him a fucking break before he breaks down like fucking Matthew Cruiser?
No, because he's on an 18-game consecutive game streak. We can't break the streak at the moment. We've got to keep going.
Well, we're up against Dad's Army next week, and now if we lose that game, people are going to call us Dad's fucking Army. So that's another must win. Then we got Port Adelaide. I'm going to that game.
I'll be there as well.
I'm going to that game. I'll be roaming Lucas. If we lose that fucking game to them toothless ferals, I'm gonna be raging. I'm gonna be fuming. I'm gonna be raging. I'm just gonna the shorts will come off regardless. I'll be that raging.
I'm going to save that one for grand final. Actually, we got a couple of things lined up. We got Paul wearing the Ninja Turtle pajamas. If we get, and I haven't even given it a plug yet. The Patreon, if you want to have a look at that, 7-day free trial. But if we get the 50 there, I think Paul said he'd put the pajamas on. You're going to probably take the clothes off. And by the way, I don't know if you've seen, we've got a poll running at the moment with 9 votes. Should Lucas keep shirt on or shirt off? And we're running it 78% off. So
you'll be matching tops and bottoms, surely.
I'm not going to ask a question about the bottoms. I reckon we'll flip that. Should Lucas keep the pants on or off? Shorts off, says Brandon.
Brendan, think of your child. That Brendan, that's disgraceful coming from you.
Bianca's probably in bed, I'm assuming.
Yeah, well, I certainly hope so.
She's got school tomorrow, eh? Yeah.
Yeah, well, thank God for that. Thank God thank God there's some school on tomorrow. Put her in there, Brendan, keep her there. But, after tonight's game, I'm now doubting. The lid's back off. I'm now doubting we'll get there now.
The shirt's off.
So it's a big 3 weeks, right? Yeah. Collingwood, Port, GWS, right? So I'm now worried. The lid's shutting down. My shirt's still off, but the lid is closing. Just win that Port Adelaide game. I don't care about Dad's Army. Pendlebury side bottom. They're going to fall off the cliff one by one. Next week it could be side bottom, could be Pendlebury, but they're going to fall off the cliff, right? Then Billy Elliott, he'll be another one that'll be gone. Or Jamie Elliott, I'll call him Billy Elliott, like Higgins. I'll call him Missy Higgins. So Billy Elliott will be done. Side bottom will be a back bottom, and Pendlebury will be back playing basketball in the park. So Dad's Army is coming to an end.
Has he got a background or something in basketball?
Yeah, apparently.
News to me, gee. Wow. Okay. There you go. I heard, this is probably news. I heard Blitzar has got a steeplechase background, I think. Someone said that. I can't remember who, but
Whoa,
I'm pretty sure someone said
really?
that. Yeah.
It's
Possibly.
funny you should say that. But this lot, we didn't predict this loss today because as you know, Ben, we were in a space, Twitter space yesterday.
Yes, we were.
Yeah.
I was in bed.
Or the X space, whatever you want to fucking call it, whatever Elon Musk calls it these days.
I was in the spa, but I was actually in bed. I wasn't in the spa with my bubbles and champagne. I was in bed.
Disappointing, Ben. Disappointing.
Just listening in while laying next to my partner. So yeah.
Well, we had Bussy in there. Bussy was in the chat.
Yeah, Bussy, if you're in, mate, shout out to you.
Bussy, jump out in the backyard
Do another
again.
one next week.
Yeah.
Get in the backyard, Bussy.
Jazelenko, we want you in next, Jazelenko. Jazelenko, you beauty. But
I reckon we got to keep working on Shadu. Shadu is huge in the chat, but haven't got Shadu on yet. That's coming.
Get Shadu in.
Before the end of the year, we've got to get Shadu on for sure. Jazelenko can't be far off it, surely.
Yeah.
Jezza, you're in the clubhouse lead for the pizza at the moment, by the way.
Yeah, Shannon's pizza or Neil's pizza. He
Neil's
might as well
pizza.
try making pizza, Shannon Neil, because he was useless today. So Max Holmes, Max Holmes, mate, if you can't learn to deal with a tag, mate, you might as well go back to the twos. I was almost going to say Prime Walsh there. Fuck me. What's his name? I forgot his name. Sam Rolsh. Fuck. Jesus. Sam Rolsh, he didn't do anything, damaging today, but fucking hell, he had you on a string, mate. No, talking about his defense, we didn't discuss that at all in our little Twitter X group. Sam Rolsh's defense, mate. You couldn't. This is where Chris Scott fucking angers me. Right, put him full back. Look what Ken Hinckley did to fucking Connor Rosie. Couldn't get attached. Put him at full back.
That's true.
Right,
That's true.
And then all of a sudden, Connor Rosie's a much better player. Do fucking something, man. This is what pisses me. He has no plan B. He doesn't do. He's too vanilla. When it's all going good, that's great, fantastic. But when the going gets tough, he just sticks with the same thing. Sutherland. Why the fuck is he on Mackay? Why the fuck is he on Fogarty? He couldn't defend a fucking elephant from an ant. He's fucking useless. Tom Stewart's fucking. He can't even get on the park without doing something. Put him away. If he's not 100%, don't play him.
Yeah. He's not right.
So that's what just pisses. I feel Chris Scott's going to leave and Tasmania going to get him. I hope not.
Yep.
But
mate,
you and what you did to fucking Wilshere. What he made a good play and he took him fucking off and he let close on. You don't trust the young players. That's his problem. He doesn't trust the young players. Right? I'd love Polkinghorn in. I haven't seen him. I don't watch the VFL. I haven't seen him. But you looking at his stats and he's a big man. I want Polkinghorn in there. But Chris Scott doesn't trust kids. He never has trusted kids.
Polkinghorn? Yeah.
Polkinghorn, the Pokemon, the Pokemon, whatever the fuck you want to call him. But
the Polka King of the Midwest.
Gotta catch a bag of gold.
Polka dots.
Polka dots, plug a duck. It doesn't even matter. The point is that he never trusts the young kids.
No.
And it's just you got to trust them, mate. You cannot rely on the same players. No.
Yeah, no, he's not having a good start to the year, Lucas. It's like he's well below his standards.
Yeah. I love how this has actually turned into a space, but on video. I actually love that.
It has. I just thought I'd
It
pick
is,
it up
it
a little
is,
bit.
it is too. Yeah.
We're 2.5 hours in, and let's we've got the true believers here at the end, and there might be some people watching this on replay tomorrow morning when they're pretending to listen to a work business meeting at work. They've got one Apple AirPod in their ear, and they're just listening to Paul and to Kiri and you have a bit of a fight with Scotty. Oh, hang on. Oh no, what's behind the curtain?
Hope you got your pants on, mate.
I've dropped the camera.
Okay, now.
I hope you have your pants on, mate. Honestly,
So don't be alarmed. I was wearing a towel.
Goodness gracious me! There's nothing between you and a.
Well, wait till roaming Lucas in the pool game. We're gonna have some fun there. I'll get Kiri involved in that.
I'll be there, mate.
And we'll do it like the Carlton besties, but we'll do it better.
Yep.
So
100%.
Have we got any other Carlton in the chats tonight? Is Pommy in the chat tonight?
They might be, but they might come in tomorrow, possibly after we've published this. I mean, I don't know when. I don't know how you.
Watch those bastards in the comment section. It's going to be fucking disastrous. But anyway,
we'll have to put a little message up saying "warning for Carlton supporters" or something like that.
No warning. They can probably get told to fuck off.
The more they comment, the more it helps the video get pushed to viewers and all that sort of stuff. So we cop it. Yeah. We tolerate a little bit of crap just for the sake of the channel.
We have a great knack of losing to teams that don't play finals. So make of that what you will.
St Kilda for one. Ross the boss. He can't coach this bloke. He got absolutely belted by Brisbane. He comes up against fucking Geelong. He's like prime fucking Malcolm Blight. It's just fucking ridiculous. They might as well sack him now, bring him back next year for the Geelong game, and then sack him again. It's just absolutely disgraceful. Ever since they lost to us, they've been absolute shit. Been shit. Can't keep a score.
And they were talking about, and Saints fans on SEM 3 weeks ago were talking, we're going to make the finals. It's going to be great. It's going to be great. No, you're just dog shit. Back to reality, honestly.
Like Missy Higgins playing, there's nothing in Adelaide. Playing in your hotel room playing Call of Duty, mate. Well, last time I checked, you
go fucking on the PlayStation, mate. Go fuck yourself with Jack Higgins, honestly. Yeah,
didn't have the guts to do any meetings. Didn't have the guts.
Where were you against GWS, mate? At the Norwood, honestly. You were stuck in the hotel room.
I tell you what, when I went to the Gather Round Festival footy, I wish there was 2 weeks of that. Can I put that on record? There should be 2 weeks of that.
You have many times.
You Melbourne pricks get that every fucking week. Where's my 2 weeks? I want Gather.
Move over here then, you clown.
No. But, actually, I'd love to live in Geelong. If anyone's listening,
I don't live in Geelong.
To live in Geelong. I don't have $800,000 plus to live in Geelong. But if anyone's
welcome to Stanley for a block of land.
Yeah, well,
Reece has got a couple of acres.
I'm gonna have to hit up on Reece.
Watching, I'll be more than happy to move up to Geelong, and I'll first person I'll knock on the door is Gilmore, and I'll say that I'm how you doing, mate? I'm your new neighbour. So we'll have a blast. We'll have a blast putting up flags everywhere and having barbecues everywhere. So we'll have a great time. I'd love to live in Geelong, a beautiful beach. I don't know if you live near the beach on near the beach road, but beautiful beach in Geelong. So I'd love to live there instead of being where I am.
Cotton On can give you a shirt, big fella.
You're definitely new, Scotty, to this channel, mate.
Hey, Scotty, that's a good one, man. I like that.
Cotton On, yeah. Well, it can't be. It can't be a Nike shirt because Eddie Maguire will get the lawyers. So it can't be a Nike shirt or Nike, whatever you want to fucking call them. So Cotton On will do. Well, I do have my Miami. What are they called? Dolphins. Jesus, Miami Dolphins jersey. But I'm too angry to put anything on. I'm too angry. You know what? I was going to do this. If we would have won today, I would have done this in the shower. I would have had to stream in the shower. Wiping all the Collingwood
You're really
germs
trying to get our
off
channel
off
shut
my
down,
body.
aren't you?
You are.
So that's how dramatic I was going to go today. But it wasn't to be because we shit the bed against Carlton, and no one's untradeable. No, I heard Ethan. This is not a dig at Ethan. Ethan, no one's untradeable, mate. You know, if
Luka
if
Doncic
Fremantle
has
said,
proved
It's true.
if
Oh,
Fremantle
yeah.
said, if Fremantle said we want Patrick Dangerfield, right? Give us Caleb Sarong. Easy. You know, we get an elite player for 10 years. You know, so no one's
We
untradeable.
don't have Nico Harrison as our GM though, Lucas. That's the thing.
Yeah, true. Yeah, we don't. Yeah,
We've got a bloke with a
we
clue.
need Brian
at the head
Cook.
of it.
Yeah. So no one's untradeable. If WA want Lawson, I don't think West Coast. I don't rate Harley Reid, so I forget about Lawson and Harley Reid. I don't rate Harley Reid.
No.
He is as useless
Harley
as
Reid.
tits on a nun. And Fremantle, well, they got some good players. Sarong, they got Bradshaw, Tracy. We need a forward because fuck me, Shannon Neal can't play.
Ollie Lord, hello.
Yeah, Ollie Lord. Well, how the fuck did we miss this guy? You know,
It's not too late.
he's
I'll get him.
Not too
yeah.
late,
Well,
get
I
him.
hope so. I want Lord now. This is why you need a mid-season trade.
He was
Shannon
brilliant.
Neal,
Remember,
fuck
Lucas,
off.
this goes back to
Go
what
get
you said
Ollie Lord.
before about this goes back to what you said before about Scotty, or one of you said before about Scotty not trusting the kids. Just wait a couple of years till they're a known commodity, and then pick them up.
Yeah.
Oh,
Offer them a block of land, give them a cotton on deal, and we're done.
Yeah.
Laughing.
Scotty, I hope you're
So-
appreciating this at the moment because I'm really leaning into the bullshit.
We like leading into
Come
things.
Fucking Carlton
But
supporters.
Ollie Lord, come play for a real team with a very good fan base, the best fan base in the AFL, instead of the toothless ferals in Port Adelaide, Alberton, where they hate their.
Yeah, that'll get it done.
There it is.
Yeah, because we don't have a salary cap apparently. So
Yeah,
No.
and if we I would love to get Tim Kelly back to Geelong. I want Tim Kelly back.
No.
So-
Done on Tim. Strike a
Put a
line.
fork in him, he's done.
run it back.
Well,
Get him better
that is the
shit.
most disgraceful story. Like that, it's so sad. Tim Kelly, I love Tim Kelly at our club. You know, great player, but he's now been dropped twice in that basket case. You know, it's it's so sad, so sad.
Yeah.
So get him back to Geelong. You know, forget about the misses. You know, I said to my missus one time, you know, fuck it, I'll stick with the cricket. Look at how that turned out. That turned out really good.
Never again.
But-
Gone back to that story from last week already.
Yeah.
Back in the time machine.
Yeah, no, trust me, I'll regret that. I hate fucking cricket. But
Except for when you
just
got chin music that you want to deliver Andrew Dillon, right?
Yeah. Oh, mate, he's finished. He knows this. He's scared. He's running away. He doesn't want to step foot near my net. He's running away. He's scared. I'm calling him out. If he wants a match, let's go, mate. Let's do a boxing match. Let's do it a charity. We can do it for charity. You know, get that son of a bitch in that ring. We can do some kind of charity match. So, you know, and if Scotty, if you want to do a charity match, we can do a charity match. So you know, I'm ready. I got a big chin, a big fucking stomach. So I can take the punches. I can take the punches. You know, maybe we can put $5,000 to a charity for good fun. Or if anyone else out there wants to put charity on, I love it how we're promoting violence here.
Punch
It's
response.
not even midnight yet.
Punch
Bloody hell.
responsibly, everyone. Punch responsibly.
Yeah.
Coat hanger responsibly.
Trust me, every Carlton fan wants a piece of me now for this. They'll be Blue Abroad. They'll be playing this on their channel for sure. I'd
Again,
love
for when that gets clipped out, Terry, we love you. Ben and I.
No.
The rabble is down
Terry.
below.
I don't think
We
Terry's
love
watching 2.5 hours in. Terry's busy enough putting
It's
shows
only if
out
it's
every
been
other
clipped
day.
out by Scotty.
Yeah, his fan camps are probably still going. No, they
Probably
go
Yeah.
are. Are they still going? Are they still
Terry?
going?
I'll have a look.
Get on, Terry. Come on, we'll
Yeah.
get Terry on.
Terry, we can host the Hoops Crew boxing night, and we can do it for charity. You know, we all have charities.
I think he's
We
done.
can nominate our
Yeah.
charities. Everyone in the Hoops Crew can pinch in. So I'll tell you what, with Gather Rounds, they had their Shane Warne Legacy machines. What a fantastic thing that is. I went in there. I was a bit concerning because everything was in the high. Bit concerning.
again.
Yep. Blood sugar was high. My heart age was 42, and I'm only 33. So that's a bit concerning. But that's a fantastic thing. So that'd be my choice of a charity. $5,000 to Shane Warne Foundation, wonderful charity. Jackson Warne's doing a fantastic job. Just a little shout out to him, by the way. So we can get something on it. The Hoops Crew can pin something on. We can have our little annual boxing night. We can have it in Kiri's garage there. So
Shit. I'm not gonna bloody fit. It's not that big. Like, bloody hell.
I'll put the call out.
Mate, we'll get all the Carlton family. Maybe Paul's garage there. We'll get in someone's garage.
Only a 6x3 shed. Cut me some slack.
Well, we can put it in the middle of Cardinia Park, and we can just set up a nice, Dangerfield, and all the Geelong players can chip in. So that's something if you want to do if you're watching the show.
Bailey
I'm
Smith
keen.
can commit some fines. You can just get fined once or twice and donate as a result.
Exactly, yeah.
And then Chris Scott can ask the AFL and conduct an audit himself to see if the money is going to concussion research, like he claims. And then we'll get dudded by the umpires that week. I'm not connecting all those dots. That's ridiculous. But anyway.
But no, it was just a disappointing. It was just a flattening fucking loss. I beg of you. I bet you can lose to 100 points to Dad's Army, but please do not lose to Port while I'm there. Please, I'm begging you.
Yeah,
I'm begging.
God forbid, man. God forbid. Yeah, I'll be locked in the bunker if that happens.
So far, Lucas, you're winning the poll. We've got a new poll. Scotty versus Lucas, who wins? Scotty, sorry, Lucas is ahead slightly, but there's 30 odd in the chat, so we'll see who gets up in there.
Who's picking Scotty, honestly?
Hey,
here we go.
There's 9 votes. That means 3 people voted for me. Actually, I voted for myself. All right, Lucas, you want to talk shit? I heard you saying that Scotty doesn't trust the kids. I trust the kids as much as anybody else. I trust Ollie Hollins, Matt Carroll, Will White, Cooper Lord.
I'll give you credit with Elijah Holland. I'll tell you what, he did play well. I'll give you that one. I'll give you that one.
We love Bubba Hollins in the Carlton community. He earned a bag tonight.
But I tell you what, Scotty. I tell you what, that's your only good game you're going to win of the year, mate. You know you're gonna get pumped by the Crows next week. You know that's going to happen.
Our only good game, mate. We were 10 goals up on West Coast. We almost beat North Melbourne by 100 points. And then we flogged you bums. What are you talking about? It's going to be our only good win this year. We've still got another 16 shit losses and another 2 good wins in us minimum.
Well, considering how West Coast and North are fighting for the flag, you might be onto something there.
Mate, West Coast only lost by 2 points to Essendon. North Melbourne almost beat Port Adelaide yesterday, and we are worded though. We you know who those teams. So and then we turned it on to the mighty Geelong Catters, mate. The 4 premiership wonders.
Yeah. We'll see you in the finals, or will we?
I hope we do, because only the best teams make it to finals.
Yeah.
What were you doing in 2023? We made a prelim.
Trying to rebuild, which only took 1 year.
Mate, do you remember round 15 last year when we absolutely, you know who, the R word was getting brought around back then. And what have you done? Who have you picked up since then that have actually improved your side?
Mate, we've got the next star tennis player in Bailey Smith. You know, with the hairband. You know, he's looking like what was that tennis player, Eugene Bourne or something. We got him. Don't worry about that. We got the best inside mid in the competition. Don't worry about Patrick Cripps.
Bailey Smith would be a fantastic tennis player because he can only hit the ball in one direction.
Well, well, it's better than chipping it backwards and side to side like your blokes do every game.
Yeah, we should just kick the ball straight to you. You're apparently the greatest turnover side in the competition, but I think you only got about 3 for the whole game.
Well, mate, like they say, every dog has its day. You had your best win. Look at St Kilda. They had our win against us. They haven't won since.
We're the biggest dogs to do it, mate.
Oh, dear.
All right, let's get in here.
Let's wrap it up. I reckon we'll wrap the show up. I got to get to bed. I got to work tomorrow.
Thank you so much, Hoops Crew. Thank you for having me. I'll be back next week. I love you all. Mwah.
Love you too, mate.
Yep.
Oh, cut him off early.
I love you. I love you too, Scotty. But don't come next week, mate.
Catch you later, Lucas.
See you later.
See you, mate. What happened? What is going on? Wow. That went in a direction tonight, Paul. That was a good show.
I don't even know if that's the wildest post-game live we've had in the last month, to be honest.
It's pretty much up there.
It's up. For you, it is.
Well, yeah. Yeah, no, it's insane. I can't believe we've still got 33 people in the chat. I was hoping Terry might jump in, but he might have had a look and thought, I'm not getting involved in this. It's just too much. But no, I think it's been a big night for Blues fans, so they can probably just enjoy this one and
get around them. That's fine.
Well, that's good. No, they played well.
We shouldn't at the end of the day, we shouldn't necessarily be super surprised by. I mean, you and me specifically. We did both. I mean, yeah, you said you tipped him for top of the ladder, if I recall, during the preseason. I know a lot has changed since then, but you tipped him for top of the ladder.
Cats.
I had him for second. So, it's not ridiculous to think that this might have happened, given the form leading into it. I think most people, rightly didn't expect this to happen, but you had a combination of Carlton coming in with their tails up, regardless of whether it was justified or not, but with their tails up. And they got an early run on, and momentum's hard to stop. Then they came against a Geelong team that was a bit flat-footed, and certainly was not hitting targets. You get the combination of those two things, and it doesn't matter what teams. Like West Coast could cause us headaches if you get the same sort of scenario going on. So it happens. Sometimes it just happens.
Yeah, we're entitled to a bad one. Look, we've had, it's just that we've had 3 losses now, and they pile up a little bit. But we've been in this situation before, and we've found ourselves at the end of the year in a prelim. Pretty hard to win grand finals. Pretty hard to make grand finals with 14 or 15 wins. So that's probably the thing that's maybe starting to give me a little bit of worry, but it's probably still too early yet. And you're much more level-headed than me, Paul. Everyone in the chat and everyone who watches the show knows you're very, very level-headed. Jake from the Chaps is the eternal optimist, and I'm like the roller coaster guy. It's just doom and gloom. But I'm trying not to be. I'm
surprised you weren't crying during this episode, to be honest.
I know. I did cry prelim, but Lucas got me going too. Anyway.
But that's because he had his shirt off. We can't.
Well, no.
Was that under the table, right?
I think he kept it on that one.
Sorry.
I think he kept his shirt on that episode.
I'm waiting for that, and I can't even think for the life of me what show it is, but I'm waiting for that moment. I keep thinking The Simpsons, where like Homer's in the pool and all of a sudden he's like holding his shorts in the air. Just this terrifying moment. The Lucas is there, shirt off. We can't see what's going on below, but all of a sudden he's holding his shorts in his hand. I'm terrified.
We know.
And if that day ever happens and the Hoops crew gets shut down because of the antics from him, that is the day that we hit up these people that harass Taron Thomas and send them Lucas's way.
Yeah, well, I'm sorry, Taron Thomas, because I thought it was you that was holding people up. What's that Falling Down movie? I think it's the one with Michael Douglas. I think that's what it's called. He just goes off the deep end. I thought maybe that Taron Thomas had a bit of a I've had enough kind of moment. So anyway, hopefully everything's okay in that situation. Not good.
Well, it's been 2 weeks.
Yeah, well, I guess these things have a way of getting out slowly. I'm sure there'll be some news dropping at some stage. I mean, there always is every year. There's AFL news dropping. We'll probably hear some things. I thought Geelong was having a great year in the preseason, and maybe didn't end up that well. But what can you do? So officially, Lucas has won the fight, I believe. I don't know. I reckon. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I would have probably given it to Scotty just. Lucas, if you're still listening. I reckon maybe just Scotty on points. Not by much, but yeah. But
I know the chat wasn't necessarily loving Scotty at points, but I was all about it. I could see what he was going for, and I'm all for a bit of banter and stupidity. And and to be fair, I don't think Lucas was oblivious to what was going on either. But Scotty got a head start from his earlier appearances, and then peppering away in the chat, and Lucas was coming off a shorter run-up. So
he was. Before we finish, I am going to award the pizza, and I completely agree with you. I'm going to give it to Jezelenko. Thank you. You're beauty. I don't know if you're Geelong-based, Jezelenko. It was a draw. Need a rematch. Tune in next week. Now, we can't have it every week. We've got to keep the show fresh and interesting. Keep it fresh and interesting. We won't do it all the time. But I do need a gong. That's one thing I'll need to dip into the Patreon. Or maybe we'll get a super chat going, Paul. A $50 super chat will buy a gong. And we'll
$50 super chat to buy a little novelty gong.
A novelty, a little ding or a little Chinese symbol. I'll go down to the
get one from Temu.
I'll get a little Temu one. A little ding. Yeah. I don't know. But no, congratulations to
Mini gong percussion instrument from Amazon, $24.
Exactly. The Shannon pizza. I am waiting. Oh, there you go. Get the graphic off for a sec. Hang on.
That's all you.
I got the comment up. That's all right. Anyway. Actually, I've been speaking to the Shannon pizza people about getting a special Hoops Crew pizza. I'm working on that still. So I have sent them some ideas. So hopefully we'll get that soon. It'll be nice. I'll get that happening pretty quick. Are we going to get to 3? I don't think we're going to get to 3 hours. Maybe by the time I do the closeout and all that stuff.
That sounds like a challenge.
It does sound like a challenge. All right, chat. Keep us going. Keep us going for another 10 minutes. We may as well. Have you got any questions for us in the chat? What have we missed in that? Let's just go up a little bit.
I was going for an hour, so you could easily just tag out and I'll just keep going if you need. I'll sit here. Everyone can sit here and watch me mark year 12 sacks because that's the rest of my night tonight.
Oh, if you want to. No,
not actually, because I've got to sit and mark assessments.
I have to we always do this. We pass it on to someone else. All right, I might do that. Just like if you live in Geelong, chat, or if you're watching this on replay,
make your pitch to Jezelenko, and Jezelenko will choose who's receiving the pizza on his behalf.
You have to say the word pizza in the chat. If you live in Geelong, first one to say pizza in the chat, it's the pizza. Brendan, it doesn't count because you can't say Hoops Crew Pizza Night at Shannon Pizza. That doesn't count. Starting from now, anyone who says next person to say pizza, even if you know someone in Geelong, I'm happy for you to give it to them.
You watch it be Scotty. Of course it was Scotty. Shit.
Oh, no. See what you've done,
he's got to drive up to Geelong to get it now, right?
See what you've done, Jezelenko? You've given it to Scotty now. Well, Scotty, do you live in Geelong? Let us know. Do you live in Geelong, Scotty, please? I'm sure you do, but maybe you don't. I don't know. Spartacus is in Perth. Lucas is not happy. When are we going to? Hey, Lucas, when are we going to get Gary on? What's his Gary 321 or I can't remember what his name is. He's another Adelaide person. We're going to get Gary on.
Is Gary the one that we see in the?
Who else do we get on Twitter all the
time? Time to time.
Brian, who can we get on that's always on Twitter or
Scotty's from Warrigal.
Frank, you're in the gun. We're getting you on before the end of the year, Frank. Spartacus, come on. Perfect, Spartacus. You can't get to the games. You can get on post-game live, Spartacus. The links.
I'd love to have the likes of Amy and Jackie come on, who I don't necessarily see as much in post-game live, but they're definitely frequenting the Paul James show, which I always appreciate. A little bit of extra support there, but
Jackie's
that'd be great. Bussy, getting Bussy.
I think Bussy's come on, and then was kind of got in trouble by Mrs. Bussy. Mrs. Bussy might have told him off because he went outside under the Hills hoist and then he's like, oh, shit, I got to go. Sorry. And then we lost him. So Magnus, I can see you there as well. Magnus, you're due to come on the show very soon. So you can turn your camera. If you don't want to turn your camera on, are you okay with that, Paul, if they don't turn the camera on? I'm fine with it.
Oh, of course. Yeah, if it's just audio only, so be it.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. So we've got a few names here. Jezelenko, as I said, you're in Perth. You got to come on. I'm just scrolling up the chat as well. Shadu, we're trying. we've had some women come on the show before, but not very
Dan's
often.
has been on.
Dana's and Amanda has been on before. But yeah, anyone, we welcome anyone to come on the show. That's fine as well. Scotty, you're not welcome. No, Scotty's welcome. Of course he is. Of course you can come on, Scotty. Just don't click the link again.
There we go. Jezelenko says he'll be on soon for sure.
Oh, good.
I assume that's on the provision that we don't give Scotty the pizza. She's volunteered Amy or Brendan too, by the way. That's how I'm reading the chat.
Lucas needs abs to get women on the show. Yep. I wonder where Magnus is calling from. Frank, I reckon, must be Geelong. I reckon Frank's in Geelong.
There we go. Yeah, I was right. Sounds like Jezelenko will only come on under the provision that Scotty does not get the pizza. Scotty, I think we're pulling the pizza on your bad luck.
Oh, you can't do. Oh God, he's first in.
He's from Warragul. He's not coming down to Geelong.
No, well, if you're not from Geelong, if you're from Geelong, say pizza in the chat. Amy, come on, say pizza in the chat. Surely you're from Geelong, Amy.
Frank's from Darwin.
Yeah, Frank's from Darwin. Yeah. He's a minute away from the. Oh, do you know where we're going before the Collingwood game? We're going to Magnus's place.
Get on the Terps.
Drinks at Magnus's place, everyone. Maybe in the.
We'll go all Corey Worthington, post it on Facebook, get a massive crowd. Dating ourselves, even just referring to Corey Worthington, but.
Oh, see, now Scotty's trying to hand it on to someone else. Don't know about
his
that.
redneck mates in Geelong.
Sam's in the chat. Neil is so bad. No chance of winning in September is a key position.
I'll stand by. I mean, look, he's trailed off a bit recently, but that forward line unit is just a bit disconnected at the moment. The cohesion's not there. And it's not just because Grind didn't play as much as we'd love to say. Grind returns, problem solved. And that'll certainly fix a bit of it because he's obviously a goal assist wizard. But he's the real wizard. None of this wizard Watson bullshit. They're just disconnected, and then you've got the inexperienced sorts like a Shannon Neal who are really struggling with a highly non-traditional forward line at the moment, with Danger being in there. Well, actually, in some respects, it's very traditional. It's Danger kind of clearing out the entire 50 and saying it's mine. But you've got Danger kind of doing that, and then Jeremy Cameron freewheeling with the creative license that he's got. I think it's making it really hard for some of these guys. Shannon Neal's not helping his case. Absolutely not helping his case. That's where the obvious drop marks and all those sorts of things really come into it. And yeah, Shadou's just kind of jumped in. Yeah, 2 goals in 6 games, hard to justify. Yeah, look, he's not helping himself, but he's not the only one that has struggled with this forward line makeup. And also when the midfield is just not getting the ball like it should be, it's only so much you can do, right? I mean, think about where most of our goals have come from in some of these big matchups recently against the Hawks and against Adelaide. It's been Danger and Jeremy Cameron for the most part.
Yeah. Yep. I've just posted a goal in the chat, Paul.
Oh, really? This late?
Yeah, very late. Still 36 people on board. Maybe everyone's just joining in now because everything else is...
Lucas versus Scotty rematch.
Lucas versus Scotty rematch. Need one super chat. I had a graphic ready to go too. I'm going to use it now just because I liked it. Bang.
Look at that. It's even a bit animated.
I know, it's animated too. I was ready to go. It just doesn't have any noise.
Look
at me. How good. We'll see. Maybe I've probably left my run a little bit late for that one, but we'll see. We'll see.
The poll is now complete, by the way.
I know. I closed
Lucas
it off.
wins with 64% of the 17-person vote.
64. Yeah, well, there you go. How many polls have we run tonight? It's like I don't think we've run 3 polls before. I don't think that's happened. Yeah, Grind would have definitely been hit.
No, I've got about an hour that's a blind spot. So
Akuta's jumping in late. We've got a couple of people jumping in late today. We do have a couple of people jumping in late. Nice to see you.
This is the merit of kicking on well into a third hour.
Well, getting there, nearly there. We're about 50 seconds. Oh, I can see pizza. Bert, hang on. Bert Westwick in the chat. Now, Bert, Bert, are you within 20 kilometres of Geelong? Give me
Would
that.
you
don't have to
drive
tell me
into
that.
Geelong to get a pizza?
Don't have to get it home delivered. I'm sorry, just laughing. My partner's telling me to wind it up. Do you want to keep going, Paul?
No, I've genuinely got assessments I've got to sit and mark. So
Oh, you
unless
gotta
people
go.
want to kind of look at the top of my head while I kind of write,
No, that wouldn't be much fun. All right, Paul.
wouldn't be much fun
sorry.
for them, and it's also going to be highly unproductive for me. And I've got that to do as well as what else? And I've still got to record the reaction video too.
You do. You got to get that up. But I've got to try and get a thumbnail ready for that. So I'll message you the thumbnail. Anyway, this is all we're doing. We're now into business talk.
We're doing
live
business.
Postgame live. Bert is from the Geelong area. So Bert,
There we go.
Reach out to us, Bert, on probably Twitter or Instagram, just the Hoops Crew, and we will send you a voucher.
Ugh.
Hopefully we'll hear from you. And
Scotty.
Jesus. Scotty's going to take it from here into the wee hours of the morning. Oh, hang on. There's been a request. There's been a request in the chat. I'm sorry, Paul. We've got to do this before we close the show tonight. We must do it. Hang on. How do I start the song again?
I muted you. Let me check patreon.com/thehoopscrew to see how that one's traveling at the moment.
What are we up to with that one?
Have we inched any
Quickly
closer?
check that.
We're on 35.
Beautiful.
50 is the number. If you
Beautiful.
want the Ninja Turtles pajamas,
That's what we got to get to.
gotta get to 50. That's not a one-off thing, people. Unfortunately, we need 50 simultaneously.
I think he's wearing them underneath his jumper right now, but we'll let everyone else make their own mind up. Oh, we've done enough shirts off tonight. All right. That will probably do it, Paul, I think. Thank you again. It might earn us money, possibly. Thank you again to Shannon Pizza, as always, sponsor of Postgame Live, and Cyril Cook Florists. Don't forget your 20% off if you use the GoCats promo code, GoCats. You'll get 20% off because it's Mother's Day. And even if it's not Mother's Day, just get some flowers. Do it. Look after our sponsor. They look after us. So,
hang on, Lucas has come up with a very good question too, by the way.
Where can I get that hoop? This one. Did I post the link or not? Maybe I haven't. Reach out to me, Lucas. I'll send you the link, or I'll reach out to you maybe.
But also, it's often for anyone watching. A lot of the videos, not necessarily all, depends on how organized we are, but a lot of the videos will have a little sponsored item thing that you can click through, and that takes you to the range. You know, sometimes maybe it's a mug, sometimes it's a shirt, sometimes whatever. But like if you click on that, the whole range of stuff is there. Then that's all pretty reasonably priced too.
And if you do buy something, you get a month of Paul's OnlyFans as well. So it comes as a bonus. So yeah, you buy a mug, buy a hat, buy a long sleeve shirt. Yeah, you get a month of Paul's OnlyFans. So you're winning.
You get the rig.
You win twice. You get everything. All right, that'll do. See you later, Paul. Let's close this one out for tonight. Thank you, everyone in the chat. Thank you, everyone who follows us and supports us on Patreon. Thank you to all the awesome people that tune in and chat on this thing every single week. Paul and I love it. We just absolutely love it. We love the community that's building. I'm sure you guys love it as well. It's a nice place to come, win or lose at the end of a game.
Join the Discord. Not you, Scotty.
Join the Discord. Definitely join the Discord. Paul, I'm going to get rid of your Ninja Turtle thing if I can. Done. Got rid of that. And I'm going to bring up the Discord. I think the Discord's in the chat too, somewhere. But anyway, we have a Discord. If you want to keep the conversation going after the game, definitely click on that in the show notes as well. We'd love to have a chat with you about the footy through the week. Definitely. That'll do it. Paul, you're awesome as always. I know we give each other shit, but we have a bit of fun with it as well. So thanks to everyone else in the chat. And make sure, I hate you too. Make sure you check out Paul's video tomorrow morning. What time are we going to drop that one, Paul?
When did you want it? 7 o'clock? Hang on. When are you going to do the pass to make sure that everything's in there already?
Before I go to bed. I'll just get the thumbnail going now, and then flick it to you, and I'll let you just sort of queue it all up at the back end if you want, if that's all right.
Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
Cool.
That's essential viewing. So, we normally get about 1,500 views on it by everyone except Scotty. We normally get a few views on that one. That's your absolute must see. But make sure you check out the chaps as well on Tuesday night. You absolutely have to check. If you know, if you've seen Jake's little soliloquies, his little preambles, recaps of the game, you know exactly what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, make sure you check it out. It's one of the best things of the week. It's definitely been better than anything I do. It's probably up there with what you're doing, Paul. I'm going to be trying.
No, I don't. That's planned, that's scripted, that's really well written, and I'm still
friggin' awesome. It's friggin' awesome. I don't think Jake's watching at the moment, but that doesn't matter. I love it. He put so much effort into it, and it's fantastic. So yeah, it's off the top on the Tuesday night.
I'd imagine Jake's not watching because really, it's probably a little bit disheartening when he sees the amount of effort and time and care that he puts into his show, and it does very well. But then he looks over at the steaming turd that is the Paul James Show post-game live.
The ball of shit rolling downhill that is post-game live.
Look at that go and think, I've got the wrong approach here.
What am I doing? Do I really want to be aligned with these guys? I don't know. Who knows?
We got him to sign a contract, so sucked in.
Oh, dear. Last thing I want to say is to everyone who's joined the chat for the first time tonight, thank you very much. We've loved conversing with you. It's been lots of fun. Paul, that'll do it, I think. We'll say goodnight. And what's your sign off? What do you do? I don't really have a sign off. I've got to
Geelong strong. Make sure everyone tune into the Paul James Show live tomorrow night. If you weren't already sick of us, I'll be live tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. 8 o'clock.
Yeah,
time of 8 o'clock.
We'll go then. We'll do it then. All right. I don't have an outro. Stay beautiful. There you go. I don't know if that's where that comes from, but
that's the way the cookie crumbles.
That's the way the
anyway
cookie crumbles. I'll just say go Cats. See everyone. Good night.
It's time for the show. Dropping pussy town facts, mitts, forwards and backs. Representing G-Town while talking the smack. Clashing facts like Patty, where the hell you at? Whose crew are exploding? Don't ever look back. Then we got Paul, yeah, he knows his stuff. He's a man, he's a myth, taking on the nuts. The man don't miss, he loves to react. His words cut deep, he's a counterattack. Paul's on fire, brings a mic to life. Don't fuck with P-Dog if you value your life. Oh, they fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew's here and they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Benny and Paul, man, remember the names. In the studio, Jake's bringing the noise. With Johnny and Sambo, the chaps chat boys. They're electric and they're ready to roll. The boys are on fire and they're taking control. Recaps and previews, yeah, they cover it all. Part of the Hoops crew with Benny and Paul. They fuck shit up, yeah, they run G-Town. The Hoops crew, baby, they'll never back down. Jake, Johnny, Sambo, always rocking the game. Benny and Paul, chasing glory and fame. Brad with the sleeves, Max Holmes and Jack Bowes. Tommy fucking Atkins, he'll break your damn nose. Stewie in the middle, and Reese in the ruck. They see Big Jezza and they know they're fucked. They're the G-Town boys, go hard or go home. They're fucking insane, taking over the throne.